with the Detroit Sports Alliance on today. We got some new members in the house on today, and I want them to be able to share a little bit with you on today. Got my main man, CA3 Sports is in the house. Carl, what's up, man?
What's up, though?
All right, what's up? What's up? I got my man Travis Troxel Sports is in the house. What's up, Trox?
What up, though?
And you know who I got in the house. I got my main boys that that they always with me on the round table, and that's 313 J Mo. What's up, J Mo?
What's good? What's good?
And I also got the field general in the house, Luke G. What's up, Luke G?
What up, though, man? Let's do this. We got a lot. We got a lot to discuss, man. A lot of things to discuss.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Did anybody hear about the thing with Jason Pierre Paul? Did anybody hear anything about
Yeah, I
that
heard about that.
situation?
I heard about that. Yep.
Yeah, good. Let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and talk about what you think about this, man, because this guy has been in a couple freak accidents. I know he got into one where he pretty much almost blew his hand off on 4th of July, wasn't it, like a couple
Almost.
year ago?
Yeah, it was a fireworks. Yeah, I remember that.
Listen, there was no almost about it. He blew them fingers off. There wasn't no almost. Like, did you say almost? I mean,
Hey Luke, I think he got a couple fingers left though, Luke.
I mean, he got he got 2 fingers and a thumb. Let's be honest, almost.
So you saying like his hand is almost like a turtle or something? That was you,
man. Listen, you know how they do that little rad thing where they put the 2 middle fingers down like Spider-Man? Man, that like
come on.
I ain't joking. What up, though, Terry Starr? What up, though, Tone of Voice? What up, though, Mike Powell? What up, though, George Morgan? What up, though, Dre Burns? What up, though, Papa Daddy 65 right up in the building? We got Kevin Brown, Skino Bambino in there, Will Kennedy. What up, though, fellas? Everybody who in the chat, what up, though? We got 21 people in the chat and 12 likes. Let's get those likes up, people. We're gonna get this thing popping. What up, though, Sean Parker? I mean, listen, let's get it. Let's be honest about it. The truth is in this thing called life, we're gonna always have different things come up that's gonna be out of our control. And we're just gonna pray for a speedy recovery for him. But nonetheless, I mean, it's news because one, we play the Giants, and I don't think even if they had him,
hey Luke, I don't think he's on the Giants anymore. I think he's on the Bucks.
He's on the Bucks.
No, he's on the Bucks.
I mean, he's on the Bucks.
We play the Bucks too, don't we?
That's what I meant to say. We play the Bucks. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
That's just one less weapon they gonna have against us.
But and it's unfortunate. So just praying for a speedy recovery. But we don't. That's gonna be my thoughts on it. That's all I got to say about it because I'm ready to get into some Lions talk.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these questions, guys. First question, I'm gonna throw it directly at Luke G because he is ready to go. So let's go ahead and do this. Luke, the question I got for you, man, basically, and I got for the whole roundtable. What do you? How do you think that the? No, I'll put it this way. Let me rephrase the question. Have the Detroit Lions done enough in the draft to win the division? And I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I mean, I think they have. I think if you go and look at the pieces that they added and how it affects the division, I think that is a direct correlation to it. You go through and you look at the 2018 division winners, the Chicago Bears. We didn't have no short game. It was no way for us to have a short game. And the blocking was horrible off the edge. As you know, Khalil Mack had his way, with the Detroit Lions. And I think if you just look at those different things, that's the first thing you fix that with the tight end. So now you figure, okay, what's the other part on the defensive side that kind of brought the attention to it? And you look at, say, what's a good example I want to give? Let's say you look at, say, a team like the Minnesota Vikings, who was able to kind of get a little bit of the run going with us. What you see is with that is they go out and add another inside linebacker who they can now move around, and you're not sure what he playing. He may be the DN, he may be the outside linebacker, he may be the inside. It's going to be fun for the quarterback trying to identify him this season. So for me, I see these little things that they did that helps them get ready for it, not to mention what they did in the offseason.
Right. Okay. I concur with that. Definitely. J Mo, what you got your take on do the Detroit Lions have enough to win the division?
Well, did they do enough in the draft, or like we talking totality or
Overall,
what?
Yeah,
in the draft and
overall,
free
yeah,
agency.
we just talking about their off season. You know what I'm saying? Did they do
Oh,
enough?
we talking overall then.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at the year before, we had a good draft, but we didn't really do that much in free agency.
Uh huh.
This year we had an even better draft. I mean, Bob Quinn having more picks just gave him more opportunities to pick great players. Apparently, he's that
Yeah,
good. So, and then we had the free agency that we had. I feel like Khalil Mack and like Everson Griffin, like
yeah.
Vikings and
And the
Bears
Bears,
have
yeah,
always had these like special. Now the Bears just got them, but they had these special defensive end. Because I mean, Everson Griffin been whooping on us for at least
yeah,
his
yeah.
whole
He's been
career.
getting the
I
best.
don't know.
Yeah, he's been
I
getting the
mean,
best of us,
he
man.
this dude be on Stafford so much, and I feel like what now that we added Flowers, we finally
Yeah,
got that dynamic player that Ziggy was supposed to be while he was playing little amounts of games and going through injury. So now we finally have Trey Flowers to give our
yeah,
defense that extra boost, and then
oh,
T.J. Hawkinson, man.
yeah. I think T.J. Hawkinson
I'm
brings
starting to
that.
think TJ might be even better than we think we gonna be. Let Stafford start throwing him the ball and he not dropping it. He might just keep throwing him the ball. That's all I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
Because
So what?
Stafford, once he trusts you, he'll keep throwing to you. You saw that
Yeah.
with
Once,
Kenny
yeah,
Galladay when he was just a rookie. So,
yeah. Once you earn Stafford's trust,
and
definitely
then we
he's gonna throw
got
the
the
ball your
the
way.
weakest part of our team was that coordinator that no one wants to name. So now that he's gone, a lot of things that's a big deal. That's a big weight of
Yeah,
bad play calling and all this other stuff that I don't even want to get into.
that we don't even want to
So
mention
I
right now.
definitely think they've done enough in the division. And the one main thing about the other teams are they had changes, but we the only team that changed drastically.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they
yeah,
they had a few moves like the Bears didn't even have their first two picks.
yeah.
So
Yeah, because
the
they
Vikings they
gave up
didn't have
so
a lot
much
of picks,
for
but
Khalil, right? They gave up so much for Khalil Mack, right?
yeah.
That's the reason. Yeah, I know they had to give up a couple of picks because they got Khalil Mack, and when you get a player like that, of course you're gonna have to give up something. So yeah,
Right, so they couldn't change that much this year. They still got Mr. Trubisky. I can't trust that team with that.
yeah, because and that's something that
I
you
trust Kirk Cousins. I don't trust Mr. Trubisky, bro.
and that's something, J Mo, that you say that because the NFL Network, you know what I'm saying, they gave the Lions the worst grade. They said we did horrible, man. You know what I'm saying? I think they gave us like a C plus or something like that. And I'm thinking like, how did we do horrible when we picked the positions that we needed? Just because
Though
we didn't
I'll
pick.
say this is the one thing I'll say before I
Yeah,
let you move on. We got the best player in the offseason out of every team.
yeah,
So I don't understand how we could be last, even
yeah,
just off of that alone.
yep.
So, we'll see.
So hey, what's
I
up,
don't
Trox?
understand.
What's good?
So what's up, Trox, man? I know you new to coming onto the round table. We wanted to make sure, we start bringing some more family members onto the show. And I want to ask you that same question, man. Do you feel that Detroit has done enough to win the division this season?
Honestly, I say yes.
Okay.
And the reason why is
Uh huh.
because they added O-line depth to protect Stafford.
Yeah.
We're not going to be seeing these 17 sacks in 2 weeks, you know.
Right.
And and then he also brought in key pieces on the defense in the draft and in free agency.
Right.
And then
Right.
he went out and got the best tight end in the free agency and then paired him
Yeah.
with the best tight end in the draft. And that's going to
Ye-
help the run game and the passing game. So, like, offensively and defensively, we have all the tools.
Yeah. We do. We do. That's true. That's true, Trav. Carl, what's up, man?
What's up?
CA3 Sports. So do you feel, Carl, that we did enough, man, to win the division this season? Is this our year to finally grasp the NFC North?
Yeah, I feel like we've done enough because I think we had the most productive off season out of all the teams in our division, and and we had the most productive draft out of all teams in our division.
Yeah.
And we filled all our needs, and we actually have depth this season, like which we didn't have last year. I think that was one of our biggest downfalls last year was our depth.
Yep.
And I also don't think just every team in our division, I don't think they got any better from last year to this year. I don't think any of our teams got any better.
Yeah, like Luke said, I think definitely, man, we got drastically better, man. As far as defense go, we attacked the defense like crazy. We knew playing in this division, we know that we got to have a good defense because you got to face Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers might not be the Aaron Rodgers that he used to be, but he's still capable of doing something. And I'm glad that the defense was addressed in the off season. So I got another question out there for you fellas. So um, do you feel that the Lions have done enough to even make the playoffs this season? Because we know that last season our record was 6-10, and last year I predicted that we would go 10-6, but we ended up going 6-10, the opposite. So we reversal pretty much. And I always go with the safe pick with the Lions because you never know. They always kind of scare you when the regular season starts to kick off. So Luke G, so do you think that the Lions have done enough?
Man, my mom and my dad has always told me scared money don't make no money. And if I'm a betting man, and they want to say that we're going to win 6 games or less or 7 games or less, I'm a bet all day that's not going to be true. I know that's not going to be true. and the reason I know it's not going to be true is because of something that I'm reading right here in the chat from Hatter House, who says running the ball, control the clock, limit mistakes and penalties, stop the run. The Lions are finally built for this type of play. And that's exactly what I look for out of this team. So one of the things that I look at off rip, and I think Carl touched on it a little bit where he says about other teams getting better. Did they do enough to slow down what we did? You know, it wasn't like the Detroit Lions went into those games and they showed up and they just smacked us. That wasn't what happened in those games.
Right,
we had a lot of big plays and great things happen in those games that many people ain't doing it. Now, Willie Kennedy Jr. says, "I'll bet you, Luke." Don't do that, Kennedy, because I promise you, I'm gonna come take that money.
What you want to bet? I can earn some big money, bro.
So the thing,
the thing is, on Stafford name, bro.
The thing is, if you just look at the simple things that make this team different. We wasn't a team that ran the ball in the past. We just pass more, pass it again, pass it one more time. And then teams are running down our throat, or if they didn't run it down our throat, they had enough playmakers on the receiving core. And when I look at each team in this division, I'm like, okay, who's the receivers for the Green Bay Packers? You know?
Yeah.
What's so special about the Chicago Bears?
That makes them
receiving core. The only one that got a receiving core is the Vikings,
bro.
And
that's the only reason they're a threat.
And we got the cornerbacks to match up with that now. And plus, one of the things that I noticed in last year's games was as down the stretch how Matt Patricia was sending those those blitzes. So these are the little things that I look at that lets me know with confidence that not only should this team be a playoff team, if they not, you're going to hear Luke G go on an epic slow rant because it's going to be like, what is going on? There's no reason that these things shouldn't occur.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We did so much, man, where, you know what I'm saying, the only thing that, like you said, Luke, the only thing that I can see and foresee the future is with the Lions is to go up, man. We've been at the bottom for so long. I think the only thing now is to go up, man. So I agree with that totally 100%. So J-Mo, what's your take on that, J-Mo? Making the playoffs this season, are we doing that?
Okay, I do want to say we ain't been at the bottom now. Chill.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, J-Mo. We
I just have to. We got to talk about the facts here, you know.
Yeah. Well, we was there last. We didn't make it last season, so
last season was a huge bump in the road. We had a lot of issues in that season, but this is a different season, new year. A lot of things that just basic people not realizing is things like our team is going to be in the second year of the defense now.
Yeah.
So now they really gonna know what they doing. They're gonna be much more together, even with all of the newer people flooding in. But Kerryon Johnson is going to run all over these other teams. I'm talking about in the division. The Packers, you can forget it. Especially after what happened last year. And that was last year.
That was last year.
The Packers can forget it. He's gonna run all over them. I don't have any doubt in my mind. The Vikings gave him problems, and the Bears he did well against them. So, but Kerryon Johnson in his second year, the level that he's gonna have to increase his ability, because this is the thing, this dude can really catch out the backfield. So he's gonna be creating a matchup nightmare all the time, and then you got all the other weapons we got, and Kenny Golladay year 3, then you still have Jesse James. I firmly believe, depending on how they use TJ, Jesse James is going to step up early, like the first few games, maybe the first game. Yeah. And, TJ Hawkinson just follows his lead as he just, builds up on the season. But when you look at the second year of that defense, and then Darrell Bevel knows how to use all of our weapons. Something that other coordinator did not know how to do. He didn't know how to use the tight end. That's why Eric Ebron looking like he did, because Jim Bob Cooter didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
Even though
it was like the tight end was a null and void.
He didn't know how to use it. Like he didn't know how to use it. And then once Ebron left, he didn't know how to use none of the guys we had. Even though those guys weren't good, but you could use them better than what you did. But,
that's true.
I definitely know Bevel knows how to use the tight ends. And now he has Stafford, so I think that combination is gonna be good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. Like one of the biggest things too, man, is like, when I'm looking at, when you brought up Kerryon Johnson, when I'm looking at the running backs, and we got to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? We got some running backs on the team this season. We brought Zenner back in. We brought C.J. Anderson in on a 1-year deal. The biggest thing now, and the elephant in the room, is pretty much Ty Johnson. What do we do with Ty Johnson? Because the thing of it is, and what I know what's going to end up happening, is going to be a battle in the backfield as far as between those running backs, as far as who's going to be able to play. And I think only how Ty Johnson is going to crack it is the mystery on Theo Riddick. You know what I'm saying? What are the Lions going to do with Theo? Theo, you know what I'm saying? We know that he's making the most money out of all of the running backs that's on the team right now. So what are the Lions going to do with Theo? That's still a question mark. But I definitely think that it's time for Theo to get another resident. You know what I'm saying? Much love to Theo, but it's time for him to.
It's not a question mark. We been knew what they was going to do with Theo. Come on, man. They get rid of him. He's gone.
I know. That's what we're
there's
saying,
no way he's making the team. He's gone.
Yeah, I and like I said, you can't. I look at it like this: if Theo's making all his money, he's, you know what I'm saying, you got to plan. If you're keeping him, you got to play him, because he's the highest paid running back on our team. So you got to play him on third down. So this is the final draw with Theo this season. He's done.
Now listen, because we don't want to forget Travis and Carl are still with us too on the topic. But it's funny because one of the things that we're talking about, this idea of making that playoffs.
Yeah.
And I first of all, let me just stop real quick. I gotta say this. It's 59 people in the chat. We got 25 likes. Let's get that a little bit higher. And all I want to make sure I say his name right. Slaw Pleasures Rex says hi from New Zealand. New Zealand people, not New England, not New Clam Chowder. New Zealand, man. That's what's up. What up? Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah, and shout out for deleting that Judah Tribe message. Definitely appreciate that, because you know what I'm saying, we ain't on his channel talking about the Bears. He's jealous of the Lions. That's what it is.
Right.
But Judah, man, he's always trolling us, man. Leave us alone, Judah. Hey, Carl, I'm gonna go to you. So do you see the Lions making the playoffs this season?
Yeah, I've seen them making the playoffs.
Okay,
I say that because Patricia finally had his first full off season.
Yeah.
Because, and he's able to to evaluate the team better. Like he's able to evaluate the players we have on our team, and he's able to, think about what he wants, who he wants to cut, who he wants to keep.
Yeah.
He just and he has a year of experience now, so he's able to kind of be able to coach
Yep.
the way he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think by just to expound on that a little bit, Carl, you're right about that. By Patricia, this season he got his guys in here, so now you definitely better turn it around this season because there's no more excuses. Now we need to get to the next level, and you hit the nail right there, man.
Yeah.
Trox, so what do you think, man? We making the playoffs this season, Trox?
Most definitely. But it depends on two things, or
Oh,
about three things.
okay. I'll hear your spin on it.
Okay, it depends on the run game, the offensive line,
Yeah.
and the overall health of the team. You do
Yes.
them three things,
Yeah.
you got a most definite high percent chance that you're going to make the playoffs.
Yes.
And I think it's also with a lot of what like everyone in here said. Like you got Zenner, you got CJ Anderson, you got
Hmm.
Carry On, you got an offensive coordinator that can utilize all the weapons, including the tight end. And then you got Matt Patricia running this defense. The whole collective picture together is
Yep.
we're in for an exciting season.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people would tell us not to be excited as Lion fans. Why are you guys excited? I remember, what I'm saying, when I first came out to AZ, I remember, what I'm saying, some people came up to me and said, why are you a Lions fan? They saw me wearing a Lions hat. Like, why are you a Lions fan? Those guys never win, and that's what made me want to go for the Lions even harder. Because the Lions have never won, and I've always wanted to see these guys win. Even when I was a kid and I was watching Barry Sanders, what I'm saying, I always wanted to see the Lions win, and I think this season, man, I definitely think that we're headed in the right direction. Like you said, but bar no injuries or anything like that, and everybody can stay healthy, and the defense can perform out there and stop the offenses of the other teams. Man, I think we're gonna be lights out this season.
It's nothing. The people forgetting we got snacks for a full season. The way
Yep.
the way
Yeah.
that you win football games is running the ball.
Yep, in the
Another
trenches,
way you
baby.
win football games is stopping the run. We
Yep.
don't have. I wouldn't be surprised if we had the best run defense in the league. And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
No one is going to be able to run the ball on us. That's what people not realizing. And Carry On is he's the best running back in the whole division.
Right.
It's just certain things like that. How are they going to run the ball on Snacks and Trey Flowers?
And
Y'all really think that's going to happen? No, they couldn't do it last year when Snacks came.
Right. Now it's funny that you say that. Go ahead, Luke. Go ahead.
Like I said, it's one of those things where I think even when you said when fans are asking you, why are you a Lions fan?
Yeah.
And me knowing where you live, I could ask
Yeah.
them the same question. Why are you Cardinals fans? Y'all just had y'all epiphany a few years ago, okay? And it took a Hall of Fame quarterback,
right,
and receiver to get y'all there. And so it's one of them things where a lot of times, now hold on, wait a minute. Something just caught my attention. Willie Kennedy says, Luke, I thought you wasn't a chump. Go do your research. We got popped by the Bears 2 times and the Vikings 2 times, Rams and Seahawks.
Uh-oh.
No. See, let me be clear. Let me be clear, Willie. Let me be clear. All right. You go and you look at the score and you see the score and you say, dang, they got popped. See, I don't look at the score to say that they got popped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not how I do it. I go and look at what happened in those games. In the Bears games, both those Bears games, I saw Matt Nagy make a bunch of rookie head coach decisions, and then here come our head coach followed up with his own fair of rookie head coach decisions, and that's how the game got out of control. In fact, if you go back and you look at the Thanksgiving game against the Bears, matter of fact, I'll start with the first game that you brought up, okay?
Yep.
So he said we got popped by the Bears twice. So the first Bears game, they was in that game all the way up until what happened? The protection died.
Mm-hmm.
When the protection died, he got sacked how many times? 10, 6? It was something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Where the protection died. And so in that first game, here you are with a head coach who didn't even have a
6
full
times.
offseason. Who didn't even have a full offseason. And on top of not having that full offseason, he comes into it having to keep the same offensive coordinator. Now, the score does not mean that they did it. They was in the game. It's where the game got out of hand. Like, for example, to give you an example of better what I'm saying is, go back and look at that playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions were in it up until that penalty changed the whole momentum. There's always a point in the game where you can see the momentum switch. It always happens.
That's true.
And the Lions had the momentum in that game. They had the momentum in the second game in Thanksgiving. In fact, Stafford went down there and threw a dart to Kenny Galladay for what would have been the leading touchdown. But Kenny Galladay dropped it, and in the next play, the tight end runs Lord knows where, and it's an interception game.
Right.
Now in terms of the Vikings beat us with the same score both those games. And what happened in the first one? He got sacked 10 times.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
So he got sacked 10 times. I don't know who the quarterback is. Dak Prescott, Michael Vick, whoever it is, if I can touch your quarterback 10 times and you don't run the ball, it's not a matter of getting smacked. We're going to run the ball this year. The second time they played them, the Lions were in all those games. That's the crazy part. They were in all those games, but what ended up happening is that one moment where the tide changed. And the tide changed when they, got one of the sacks that ended up in a forced fumble. And I said, look, this is the kind of stuff that happens that changed the outcome. So it wasn't like a smackdown there. In the Rams game, don't even get me started on that. We had that
win. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on that Rams game.
That game should have been no win. It got out of hand after the fact. Once it got down to the wire, but for the most part, we had that game on lock. It wasn't like they came in and just smacked up on us. The Seahawks game.
Hold up, the Rams game. I want to say we was in that game up until the very end, and then Aaron Donald was Aaron Donald.
Exactly.
Nothing about
that.
Yeah,
he
can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, he came through and made a couple big plays.
Yeah, I want to say something about that game too. Yeah, Jared Goff tried to give us that game though. He tried to give us that game.
Exactly.
Bro, we couldn't capitalize.
He didn't even want to win. We gave the Patriots the blueprint to win the Super Bowl, and got credit for it. That's how good the plan was.
Right now, let's give a quick shout out to
Adam Jimmy
23 drop a super chat of 99 cents, man. That's what's up, man. If I had the horn, or if Derek was here, he'd give you the little bump.
We appreciate you, Jimmy. Jimmy 23, we appreciate you.
Yeah, so but I mean, I'm just saying when I talk about getting smacked, there are certain games where you can look and just see, like, okay, like the Lions smacked the Green Bay Packers in week 17. There was no way they was in that game. They was in that game from the first snap, but after that, it was over. Okay.
The fans don't care about that. They used to cry all the time we lose to the Packers. We 4-0 against the Packers, but y'all just don't care.
Yeah, getting smacked is totally different.
We blew them out 31-0.
Yeah,
I ain't never seen that happen to the Packers ever.
No, not on their field. No.
Yeah, 31-0 at Lambeau Field.
No, not there.
Aaron Rodgers was playing, but got so scared and got hurt. Like, come on. Boy, he wasn't ready for that smoke. And he's definitely not going to be ready this year.
And it just stands to show that the perception is always different. And Willie know that. Willie already know that I don't look at the end result to say, oh, this is what happened, because there have been games in the past that the Lions have won, and I was like, they should have lost. When you look at the game just last season against the Panthers, they decided to go for 2. Why? Why?
Yeah.
And thank God that they did, but why? And so to me, it's one of them things where if you're talking about if you're talking about those little things, you have to be able to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, what they did good, the bad, what need to be kind of coached out, the ugly, where they just failed at. And there wasn't too many games where I can say that they just absolutely failed. Now Willie say, you guys disappoint me, yo. At the end of the day, we got popped. We lost by more than 10. So if losing by more than 10 means you get popped, then a whole lot of teams got popped last season. So I feel good to be in that company.
Yeah.
What up, though?
Yo, what's up, Nomis? What's up, Nomis?
What's good, Nomis?
And a big shout out to our brother who missing right now, the Gridiron Blitz, Derek P. Fields. So appreciate
shout out to the Gridiron Blitz, definitely.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Yeah.
You know.
So man, like you said, man, this
Rodgers
season
played
right.
in both of the games. Willie Kennedy Jr.
Oh
This
yeah,
year.
And
We
when you
knocked
say
him out of the game. That's his fault.
and when
yeah.
you say that one more game, they went 6-9-1.
Come
So
on,
I mean,
bro.
technically, that tie, if we don't, the tie just doesn't say that they didn't lose
I mean,
or they didn't
yeah.
win. They went
Mm-hmm.
6-9-1. We went 6-10.
6-10. Yeah.
So I mean, and on top of that, yeah, 6-9-1, and two of those 9 losses came from the Detroit Lions. So just food for thought.
I mean,
You know.
and if the Vikings would have did their job, they would have been the Packers would have been last.
Oh wow.
They did their job.
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to Aaron
Watch the
Burton.
Packers
shout out.
gonna be
Hold on real quick,
8-8.
J-Mo.
Watch.
Hold on real quick, J-Mo. Shout out to Aaron Burton for dropping that $5 in the super chat, man. Appreciate that. And showing support to Noble Sports Entertainment, man. He says great draft and free agent, but built a lot of depth. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to have depth. That's what's different.
So yeah,
You know.
so I'm gonna put it out on the table because I know we have not talked about this. This is one of the areas, fellas, that we have not talked about yet, and we're gonna talk about the coaching staff. What should fans expect from the coaching staff this season? Because we got some new intricate parts on the coaching staff. So what should we expect out of these guys as a whole? You know what I'm saying? If you want to take a jab at the coordinator, the defensive coordinator, the head coach, you have your choice to go whoever you want to talk about. So Trox, who you want to talk about, man?
Well, as a whole, I want to say do their job.
Okay.
I know, yeah, that is, the quote unquote Patriot talk. But you know what? That goes in any profession, sport, or whatever. If you do your job, you put yourself in a good position to win.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt like, the gym person failed to do. Some of these other coordinators, like, who was the one?
Because we still got the
I want to say it was
defensive-
Paul
Paul Ascaloni.
No, I think it was the offensive line coach that we it was one of the guys, and then we replaced him this year.
Yeah,
we replaced the run game coach. Basically.
Okay.
Yep, because that was what's his name's
He
boy.
came from Cincinnati. Cincinnati always have been good at running the ball, believe it or not, regardless of their record. So,
that's what's up, man.
I forgot the one guy though that we got our offensive coordinator or former offensive coordinator brought in. Was that the run game coach? Or was that
Jim Bakuda didn't bring him in?
Okay, then there was another offensive, or I think it was on the offense that he brought in, and both of them got canned. And I was just like, I'm surprised he lasted this long.
No, the it's kind of hard. Coach is still the same, man.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me fact check real quick.
Yeah, the offensive line coach is still the same.
We don't want to be no chump, man. Yeah, we don't want to be no chump. We definitely got to fact check that, but definitely, J-Mo, what do you think about the coaching staff? Think about Bevel. What's the defensive coordinator name? Pascalini.
You got to wait and see. But the one thing I want to say as a unit that the Lions fans should expect is just stability. Because I remember last year, at times at the beginning of the year, through faults of Matt Patricia and the players sometimes, Matt Prater gets lost in the sauce. He missed some very vital games last year.
Yeah, he did. He did, yeah.
So it's just a lot of things. We had to fire the special teams coordinator in the middle of the season because he was very, very bad. And we upgraded, and our special team did get better with a new guy that they hired that's still there now. So
yeah,
I just feel like it's going to be a lot more stability for every unit because everybody knows what they're doing. It's one focus, one goal. It's not all these people from separate regimes. They got all these people in there. And they ready, and then they built the team for the system. So everybody knows what they're doing because it's something that they've been used to. And it's just more experience for the whole all of them as a unit, especially Matt Patricia.
Okay, Jay. Somebody said in the chat, Roland G said the glaring issue with our past coaches, they didn't adjust to the game. So how you fellas think about that, Luke G?
Well,
That we did not adjust to the game.
Go to Carl first. Let's go to Carl first, then bounce back over.
Okay, Carl.
So about not judging to the game.
Yeah,
like the question is what do you what should the fans expect from this coaching staff and the old head coaches not adjusting to the game?
I think they should expect like Troxel said, more stability and just a better overall coaching staff, and that makes adjustments, because if you saw last season, the Lions throughout the season, the Lions did make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And the other coaching staff they didn't make adjustments at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't beat the Patriots and without making adjustments. Trust me.
No.
Yep, that's true. That's true. You got to do that.
Really create a game plan that created the blueprint to beat the Rams. Literally.
Yeah, that's true.
Now,
go ahead, Luke.
To me, the expectation should be this. It should be one part growing pains, 2 parts adjustments. And I think Roland G made the very good point that this team needs to show that they made adjustments. That's the only reason I didn't keep my fire Matt Patricia thing going, because he started making adjustments down the stretch. And one of the things that I'm looking for and what I expect to see from this coaching staff is just that. I want to see adjustments. If we go into the halftime and we winning big, then I want to see you make an adjustment to make sure that we keep our foot on their necks. If we're losing or we're not getting the good production, I want to see the adjustments to be made for that to work. So one of the things that I can care less about. I can care less about a head coach calling out players or players calling out. I can care less about all that. I think that the biggest thing we should expect from them is to, 1, make adjustments, and 2, to actually have a game plan. Have a game plan for these games, because a lot of the time they go in with a game plan and they start calling random plays. You can tell it's a random play because you like, it's 3rd and 15. You came out with a wide receiver screen.
Exactly. We did that a lot last season.
Yeah, and it's like there's no creativity there. So I want to see some creativity. I want to see some adjustments made. I want to see a game plan. I want to see us run the ball. I want to see us run the ball. I mean, get into it, run the ball. I want to see us actually go out there, and when I say compete, I want the other team to know that we was on the field. And to me, if they're not doing those things, then I'm gonna have a problem with this coaching staff. The one thing about Luke G is Luke is going to always call out the truth. He ain't finna sugarcoat nothing. Now, with that being said, let me segue into some more truth. We got 76 people. We got 76 people in the chat. We got 47 likes. Let's get those likes up a little bit more, people. And I lost his message, but Neil the Clown says the Lions need to draft more Iowa players. So I take it he's an Iowa fan, and he says I want to see the Lions draft Jerry Judy next year.
That's not happening.
Listen, I'll get into it. I'll put it that way. I'll get into it.
You talking about the receiver from Alabama?
That's not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, I don't think this is the truth. I don't think the Lions is going to be picking high enough to get too many of these top name people coming out next year. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
but when you go through, you look at some of the chat chatter that's going on right now. You look at Sarplurius Rex. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it says if Bevel dials up a flat route on screen pass on the first drive, I'm throwing a brick through the TV. Exactly. It needs to be some creativity there. D-Town says, I'm expecting to have an advantage in coaching sometimes against other teams. That's a very good point he makes right there. To have the advantage in coaching. And if you have the advantage in coaching, that fixes everything. That's why the New England Patriots are so good. They always have the advantage in coaching, until they played the Detroit Lions, and that coach knew the weak spots of that offense and knew how to do it. So just these little things like that, to me, is what it be. I think Lions fans need to expect a little of patience, because and I know people, they're going to say, well, patience for what? I'm going to say patience because if you look at how New England win their games, it's a slow burn. It's not like they come out and they light up the scoreboard.
Nope.
It's slow, methodical, and they run the ball, control the clock, and get you exhausted and then kill you.
In the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. You have to be able to do just that. You know, and even Ghost Gunner says that the man who I shall not name love call 15-yard screens. I don't get it. I don't get
that's
it.
not Darrell Bevell. Darrell Bevell has coached the Super Bowl winning offense, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I don't care what the defense did. Offense had to put in work to get to even get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But even when you go back and you look at the Super Bowl itself, just look at that game, man. It was so many things in that game that was very telling about how a team should win. I know a lot of you fantasy football people, and this is one of the reasons why I can't stand fantasy football. I know a lot of you fantasy football people ain't gonna like it, but the reality is that slow burn that they did was impressive. Everybody forgets that in that game when Stephon Gilmore got that interception, there was about 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes on the clock. They ran that clock down. And then they ran it so much that when they finally threw the ball, the team was so concerned with stopping the run. That's why the tight end was open down there. And then what they do, when they make the pass, they ran it in again.
Yep.
So it's one of them things where it's not going to be pretty. Now, Kedrick says week 1, Cardinals win or loss in the score. And he says, what do you expect in that game? I expect, as D-Town said, to have a coaching advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. I expect for us to have a coaching advantage, to get in there and to handle our business and win by more than 7 points.
Yeah, I definitely. Hey, Luke, I definitely expect for our coach to be able to really, really look at the tape of Kyler Murray, because you don't really have no tape of him in the NFL. And you know what I'm saying? We already know what he's capable of doing with his legs. And he has a cannon of an arm, even though he's a smaller quarterback. I think that's where we're going to have to make our X's and O's at, is making sure that we really study this quarterback, because we know what happened to us last season when we tried to underestimate the rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably because our defense didn't have.
I just feel like I feel bad for Kyler Murray, because he about to go up against a healthy Lions team. It's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
Like that first game, we're gonna be healthy. And when you look at the defensive line, they're not gonna be able to run the ball at all. Yeah. But our defensive line is going to stop the run. And a rookie quarterback in your first game, the one thing you need. That's the one thing Sam Darnold had. I mean, Isaiah Crowell and the other dude, they both ran for like 100 yards.
Yeah, they was toasting us on the ground, man.
Yeah, so they're not gonna be able to run the ball on this defensive line.
Yeah.
So I definitely I don't expect them to score like more than 2 touchdowns, really.
Now, Travis, let me ask you this, Travis, because I thought about this too, Travis. When you look at the Detroit Lions in terms of the week by week games, in terms of saying like that first game against the Cardinals, what do you expect to see in that game that's going to give you confidence about this season? What do you expect for that game, Travis?
The first game against the Cardinals. Yeah. Well, I do have them as a win. So I see them actually, figuring out like, okay, if we put everything together as far as like stopping David Johnson, containing, these big play threats, and putting pressure on a rookie quarterback, something that we was able to do, last year in week 1 on prime time.
Yep.
And I think that's why, the Lions went out and traded for Snacks, in case of a situation like that happens, they don't get embarrassed, because that game against the Jets should have been ours.
Yeah, that was an embarrassment.
And I will say, we had Snacks that game. We would have did much better that game. I'll be 100.
Oh, they would have. I don't think that even if they had Snacks, it makes a difference. I think the biggest difference was there was no way for them to have balance in that game. And when you don't have balance, it's easy to tee off on you when you're just gonna pass.
Yeah, but Carl,
I mean, yeah, what's up?
But Carl, what are you expecting though? What are you expecting to see in that first game against the Cardinals?
Yeah,
I'm expecting them to kind of take advantage of the Cardinals' youth. I expect them to win pretty easily. Because I think they're gonna know. I think they're gonna make enough adjustments. And they're gonna do more studying. They're not gonna underestimate the rookie quarterback like they did last year.
Wait, let me ask you this, Carl. Let me ask you this,
Yeah.
Carl. You think they underestimated Sam Darnold?
Well, I should rephrase it. Well, they didn't underestimate him. To me, it really was. It wasn't really Sam Darnold. I should rephrase that. It wasn't really Sam Darnold that killed us. It was our inability to stop the run, and our offense was predictable, and they knew exactly what we were doing every play.
Right. I can agree with that because I think if you watch Isaiah Crowell, I mean, I don't think he ever looked more better than that. I was like, come on, man, like y'all, like this man like Adrian Peterson out here, you know.
He was carving
you got to remember, this is gonna be Kyler's first time going up against Darius Slay, so he might throw a pick or two.
I'm not listen. I don't even.
He probably throw to Darius Slay by mistake. Don't even know.
That's not even a matchup that I would look at for that game. To me, the biggest thing for Kyler Murray is he going to be able to read these complex defenses that's coming with complex blitzes? Because that's what I believe that the Lions is going to do. Is he going to be able to do that and get the ball out to different people? I think he's going to try to sit there in the pocket, which is going to go against him. And then when he try to run, he's going to pick the wrong time to run. But the truth is, the only matchup I care about is can our defensive coordinator come up with a game plan that makes Kyler look confused, like what is this coming? What is that? Where did he come from? So those are the things I look at. Now, shout out to Noah Archaeologist, for putting $5 in the super chat to Noble Sports Entertainment. It says Lions will overall control Arizona. We're a better team everywhere. We're buying in. They're checking out. I'm with you on that.
I like that.
I'm with you on that.
100%, Noah. We with you.
And here's the thing, Carl. The thing is, when I look at that first game against the rookie quarterback, we didn't throw nothing at him that was confusing. It wasn't that our offense was just predictable. The defense was predictable. Ashawn Robertson wasn't getting no push. Ziggy Ansah, I mean, he was forgettable. He was very forgettable, and we wasn't really utilizing the opportunity. I mean, the first play he came out, did a rookie thing, ran to the right, threw across to the left like he on John Madden, interception for a touchdown. But after that, it got real. It got real strange because now all of a sudden, certain things didn't happen, and like Willie said, those 4 interceptions from Stafford didn't help nothing. So those are the things that you can't see have happened. Now, I did see a comment in there and in the chat that said, "How do you guys feel about Matthew Stafford? He's known for having good deep touch, but not short touch." So we're gonna start off with you, J-Mo. What's your thoughts on the comment of Stafford's short throwing ability versus his deep throwing?
I don't think that Stafford has any deficiency in his throwing ability. He can make every throw on the NFL field. I've seen him do it. He can make throws that other quarterbacks can't make. Now we're gonna talk about the short game. So where is Stafford inaccurate? Because Golden Tate is always leading the team in catches. When he was here, that's all he do is throw short to Golden Tate and running backs. It's not like he's inaccurate on those. I would say, believe it or not, his deep passes are less accurate than his short passes. But a lot of people see a lot of the big plays and all that stuff throughout his career, so they think he's better in that area. But if you actually look at it, it's some of the deep throws be off depending on, because we've seen Stafford miss some good deep passes even last season in a few games. So, but I don't think he has any problem throwing anywhere on the field. I trust Stafford to put the ball where it needs to be. Like I've seen him do it too many times.
Now,
it's about throwing your receivers open. Like he throws it to like places that you can't get to.
Yep.
And what say you though, like T? I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you think there's an issue in terms of Stafford in terms of that short passing game versus that deep passing game?
No, man, I really don't think that it's a problem with his short passing game, long passing game, whatever. Because, like J-Mo said, Stafford can make all of the throws. I have seen Stafford pretty much be able to handle himself like a grown man out there and be able to handle all the throws and throw in any direction. Now, to me, he's really, really good. He's gotten better at game managing and getting to those those sweet spots, those 10 yarders and those 5 and 6 yard passes. He's gotten better at that. But I don't see no problem, man. I definitely don't see a problem with um Stafford throws or him just being able to make all type of reads down the field.
I mean, and what about you, Carl? What about you? Have any issues with the short or the long passing game?
Yeah, I mean, to me, you can make every throw in the book, man. I don't know what throw he can't make. I don't know why you're criticizing his short passing game. I mean, just think about recent years. Who has he passed to in the short game besides Golden Tate? Ain't no tight end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, hey, I ain't mad at you, man. And Travis, what's your thoughts about it? I mean, you think there should be a concern for his short game versus his deep game?
I really don't. Oh wait, hold on. Shout out to Aaron Burton dropping $2.
Yeah, we got to read his question too.
Yep.
Yeah. He says, do you think Jones and Galladay are good enough wide receiver core? Yes. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Listen, if you want, if I wasn't already on a timeout from YouTube with live streaming and other things, I would do a video showing you why we may have low key the second best receiving core, if not the best receiving core, depending on how that slot receiver turns out in the entire division. I think what Jones do and what Kenny Galladay do is very special. I said the problem is it's easy to tee off on them when there's no intermediate threat. Well, there used to not be one. We got one now named TJ Hawkinson. So
and Kerryon. Don't forget about Kerryon. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a nightmare on that backfield.
Yeah, but the thing is in terms of the receiving game, in the passing game, you know, when you get those wideouts out there like that, like for example, no matter what team you look at, whether it's the Minnesota Vikings when they had Chris Carter and they had Randy Moss, when teams would double down on Randy Moss, Chris Carter had to step up. And if Chris Carter didn't step up, that slot guy oftentimes were the one who was killing people. So those are the little things that I look at that kind of lets me know what's going on. So,
and then let's take another look at it too. Luke, on this perspective. Going into the first game with Arizona, they're going to be new looked all around. You know what I'm saying? You got Hakeem Butler as one of the receivers now, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, and also who's the other guy that's the receiver? Larry Fitzgerald. So they're gonna look totally different. I know Larry Fitzgerald is their bread and butter, and they will always go to Larry. Larry has been one of those receivers that has been able to play all over the field, and he's really done well in the last couple of seasons playing in the slot. So definitely, we're gonna have our hands full with their receivers as well. But I definitely think that we got an opportunity to beat them just because of our defense is going to be so solid and so better, and we focused on our linebackers, and our linebackers is run stoppers. So we definitely going to be all over David Johnson. Definitely.
But I do want to say what you just said, Noble. To what you just said, the receivers will be a threat, but I just feel like they didn't do that much. They didn't do enough to fix their offensive line, and they already had the worst offensive line. This defensive line, I feel like it's going to ruin the whole game because, I just don't feel like he's going to be able to come up for parity against this defensive line in the first game. And I know Matt Patricia is going to blitz and confuse him. You're going to have Jared Davis and Devon Kennard running straight at you.
Yeah. So basically, J-Mo, you see us winning the battle in the trenches.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Now, one of the comments that I like that jumped out to me was by Arthur Williams, who says TJ and James will open up the one-on-ones, and that's the difference. That it changes everything. I know that the Cardinals got some things going on, but the only reason Larry Fitzgerald was in the slot was because of who? Bruce Arians. And Bruce Arians ain't there no more, ladies and gentlemen. If Bruce Arians is still in Arizona, I have some serious cause for concern because I think he's a very good coach, but he's not in Arizona no more. And on top of that, when I look at Larry Fitzgerald going to the slot, I'm saying to myself, okay, well, we paid Coleman to shut that down, so he's got to do his job. And when I look at the other receivers that they're going to have out there, the Kirk Christians and the
Christian Kirk.
Hey man, put respect on Christian Kirk name, bro.
And
Kirk Christian.
And I'm trying to think. The other guy is going to be
Hakeem Butler,
and then in the slot they're gonna have Larry and Andy Isabella.
Yeah.
And I look at the receiver and I go down. I look at the real matchup is going to be, can our cornerbacks and secondary neutralize that, because that's going to be the real battle. That's going to open up everything else in terms of shutting down their offense. And to me, our slots got to win the battle. They have to. You know,
because Larry Fitzgerald, he will get his. If you allow Larry to get open, man, he will catch the ball. That's one thing about Larry. He got great hands, man.
But they got a new head coach, and I don't think that new head coach is going to utilize Larry like that. He's going to come up with some other stuff that's know, and he's going to bring in a lot of that college stuff, and it's going to get snuffed out. Now, let me ask you this, Carl. Let me ask you this, because I thought about this too. In terms of the approach that the Lions have taken, because I just saw a comment that says we got to switch it up, and it came from Melvin Drew, where he says we got to pass on running downs and run on passing downs and mix it up. What do you think that do for our offense? You know, when we can have that type of versatility to go from run to pass.
I mean, it opens up the offense, because if you can run the ball, you can open up the playbook and do some play actions, you know, because before, if you trying to, because we're so predictable, them play actions ain't fooling nobody. I mean, because we're not running the ball.
Right.
I mean, we can fool people. Yeah.
Which is funny. And you want to hear an interesting stat? We were in the top 5 most play action team, and I'm trying to figure out how, when we didn't run the ball. How can you be in the top 5 most top 5 of teams that call play action the most, but don't run the ball? It makes no.
You want to know? Stafford was his passer rating was number 2 in the league in play action.
It's
just crazy. I'm like, we can't even run the ball. And this wasn't last year, the year before. It was 2nd in the league. And I'm like, and we definitely couldn't run the ball back then. We didn't even have a 100-yard rusher, and it was 2nd in play action. It's just like, just imagine what happens when it's actually a legit play action.
Yeah.
Now in terms of this, Travis, I see a comment from Mel Drew who says that our schedule is going to be a little tough. I mean, do you think we got a tough schedule, Travis?
I really don't. Because obviously the teams that don't make the playoffs do get a slightly easier schedule. But if you look at all of our big games that are kind of cause for concerns outside of Denver in week 15 or week 16, I'm sorry. You know, they're all home games and it's early in the season, you know, so I think we actually got a really nice schedule, you know, to where we can actually have a bounce back year.
Yeah. This is how I look at it, man. This schedule's way easier than last year's, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, going to the 49ers on the road, second game of the season.
Yeah. What I was saying was, even considering last year's like season, we could have won at least 8 games if we were healthy the whole season, at least.
Yeah, I think you're right. In my opinion, I don't think that the schedule is any more challenging than last year, but I also don't think that is tough, in my opinion, because of like what Travis just said, where we play them at. It's where we play them at like I've been saying it for the longest. If we play Kansas City in the first 4 weeks, and we're at home, we're getting a win there. But if we was playing Kansas City, you know, down the stretch, I got a problem with that. I might give them an L quick. You know?
I mean,
or playing them late in December or something.
It's different.
Yeah.
You playing an Arrowhead, that's a different story.
Oh yeah. Arrowhead's a hard place to play any time of the year.
Right. Yeah. But to do it in a time where you know that they're going to have a perfect controlled environment on the field, they're not going to open that thing up for that heat to come up in there around that time. They ain't finna do that. So we're going to be in a perfect environment. It's going to be like literally playing in the snow globe. It's going to be perfect. You know, so I expect for the schedule to be somewhat difficult in certain spots, but that first 4 weeks don't scare me. The first 4 weeks they need to go over 500 or better. And if you just go 3-1 in all 4 quarters, and I call them quarters because it's 16 games. If you go 3-1 in all 4 quarters, that's 12-4 record.
Yeah.
So it's easy. But Ed Whiting says, "Hey Luke, I did my homework. Slade has gotten hurt and missed a game or two the last 2 years. If Slade gets hurt this year, do we have enough depth to cover?" Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
They completely made sure that if you look at every position now, that minus quarterback, because I still think the backup quarterback position is a cause for concern. But if you look at every position, they have somebody there who can step in and keep this next man up thing going. I mean, I think you would agree with that, right, TA?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. We got. You know what I'm saying, we got a lot of corners. We went out to a lot of corners, and you know what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of depth on the team this season. That's the reason why we did what we did. To be able to get all those defensive backs, and some of those guys, they're going to be versatile. Some of these safeties can play corner possibilities. It's a strong possibility. Some of them could be two-way players.
Well, I think that's why they picked up Will Harris out of Boston College, because he has that man coverage in a way. I think they like that. But Will Harris is actually one of the guys that I'm gonna keep a close eye on him, because the more I watch film on him, I go, yeah, he's a big hitter, but I don't see his game in the coverage. And it is because of how Boston College used him, in my opinion. So we got 73 people in there, 60 likes, people. I'm loving that. Can we keep it going? Let's see if we can get to that cool 65. Let's get to 65 likes. That'll be awesome. Again, you are on with Noble Sports Entertainment, the round table with 313 JMO, CA3 Sports Talk, and Troxel'S Sports Talk, with myself, Luke G's Field Review. Comments, the different channels should be linked in the description. Just talking about these Detroit Lions and what the expectations should be. So to all the people who just joined us, what up, though? Welcome to the show. Arthur Williams says versatility is key. I think that's the theme for the Lions today. And he says we're going to coach up Harris. Yeah, they're gonna have to. I'm a realist, and I saw some things that really drew some concerns for me in terms of his coverage. General G Berry, what up, though? He says, I'm late. What I miss? Everything. Everything. It says, what up, though? Sorry, I can't stay on. Gotta get to bed, man. Hey, appreciate you coming through and shouting us out, Andrew. Kevin Brown says, what's up? What up, though, Kevin Brown? Fellas, holla out the man, Kevin Brown. It says, how often will we see CJ Anderson? Ooh, very good question from James Shelby. I hope I said that right. If I said that wrong, I apologize.
You definitely said that wrong.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm terrible with names. If Top Tier was in here, he would be clowning me left to right because he knows the name. I don't forget a face. Like, I don't forget a face, but I will forget your name. Like, you can come to me and be like, hey, I know you. And I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah. I'll do that. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
I kind of want to expand more on that Darius Slade question.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Carl.
Yeah. To me, it's like I think we'd be okay if Darius Slade went down, because I remember, I'm gonna use one particular year for example. I remember that 2016 season when Darius Slade went down. We really had nobody to back him up like that, and our season went down the drain. We lost 3 straight games just like that.
Yeah. It was. When you look at the thing that this term called depth, people overlook it so often. But yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head that without that depth, it was suspect. But I do think we have that depth now, and I do think that depth is going to help in the event of injuries. Now, we can't have multiple now. We can't get too deep into it. Not too many. But if he go down, we should still be okay. Now, in terms of how often are they going to use CJ Anderson? Now, I'm gonna take this lead. I'm gonna take the lead on this one, because you will have to go and look at the Seattle Seahawks offense under Darrell Bevell, and you will have to go and look at the Minnesota Vikings offense under Darrell Bevell. And if you look at both of those things, you would know that he does not utilize the 2 running back system a lot. He utilized the 2 running back system based on situations. So let's say it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2, you may start to notice that CJ may come in. Let's say it's 2nd and 5. You may see CJ and Kerryon in, so they can create a little bit of confusion there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see him there. So I'm going to get him on a game-to-game basis. You're going to probably see him about 30% of the time, and on a game-to-game basis, it just depends on who got the hot hand. Now, if he gets a run and break, his percentages will go up. But right now, you're going to see him about 30% of the time. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with that because I won't carry on to touch the ball.
Okay, so how many touches are you saying he's getting? Probably about 8 to 10 touches.
Yeah, about 8 to 10. Yep, 8 to 10.
10 touches. So.
Yep, 8 to 10.
Because we do want to focus on making sure Kerryon is the focus in the backfield.
Right. I mean, and what are your thoughts on that, Travis? You think? I mean, what percentage or how often do you think they're going to use CJ?
Real talk. I mean, I think you hit it on the nose on that one. I think. Hold on a second. We gotta delete. Don't hit that Sky Sport. I just already deleted it. Okay. And what do you call it? Put him on timeout. I guess that timeout went off. So I'm putting him back on timeout.
Yeah, he keep doing that. So he's gonna end up meeting Matumbo.
That's right. Hey, listen, send him to the block party. Send him to the block. If you want to come on here, let me get us the public service announcement. If you want to come on here and think that you finna be disruptive, you finna be disrespectful, bullyish, or just downright outrageous, you will be added to the Dikembe Mutombo block party. Don't play yourself, okay? I got a lot of quarters for you to stick it up where the sun don't shine. Don't play yourself.
Hey, it's funny, man. I was at Cheesecake Festival like last year, bro, and I see this big tall dude with these big old African feet.
I'm telling you,
Mutombo, bro.
And that's just the reality of it, man. When you got people doing dumb stuff, you gotta let them know it's not gonna happen here. But I mean, talk to me though, J-Mo. How often are you expecting them to use CJ Anderson?
I don't expect CJ to be used any more than LeGarrette Blount was last year.
Well, don't say that because they used him way too much.
You gotta let me finish. Only reason they use LeGarrette Blount is because Kerryon, they started him off slow at the beginning of the season because he was a rookie and whatnot. Now that that's all over with, I don't expect CJ to get the ball that much. I expect Kerryon to be the bell cow, and CJ comes in to spell him. CJ will get more carries if the situation or the team calls for that, and he having a high game. I definitely can see us going with the high hand. But I think Kerryon is going to be getting the bulk of the carries. And CJ will come in short yardage, maybe, to get some touchdowns on the goal line. But I don't see him being in that one.
Yeah, I mean, here's another question that somebody asked, and I think it's a good question. How much playing time do you expect to see Austin Bryant? I mean, like TA. I mean, how much do you expect to see Austin Bryant? Given what you know about this current defensive line, how much time do you expect to see that?
Well, he's going to be in a rotation. He's going to be a rotation player, so he's definitely going to be in there. I'll say probably 25 to 30%. I say snaps. He's going to be in there, causing havoc. He's going to get a lot of playing time because that's one thing that the Lions do. They do rotate a lot, so I definitely think that he'll get a lot of looks, and I'm gonna say like at least 25 to 30% snaps he's gonna get.
Okay, now shout out to Andrew Isham. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, shout out Andrew.
He gave a $2 super chat. Appreciate that. He said, "Be back in Michigan this weekend." What up, though, man? Get back home, man. Michigan is beautiful, man.
Michigan
beautiful. On that one.
But I do like the baby Suflex response. He says, I think early on in the season, CJ and Kerryon would split up the time equally to keep Kerryon healthy because we got that week 5 bye week, which brings me to another comment, people, where I saw it earlier where they asked, what are your thoughts about the week 5 bye week? And we're going to start off with you, Carl. Make sure you're talking up, brother. What is your thoughts about the week 5 bye week?
That's terrible, though. I don't know why they did that to us, man. That's terrible.
Yeah,
me, man. I don't know why they make it bye week so early. That's not what bye weeks are meant for.
Right. like we 4 games in, you need a break.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Take me off the kick.
Like what in the world? Yeah, right. I mean, what about you, Travis? What's your thoughts on that week 5 bye week?
I think they need to cancel that them week 5 buys. I mean, I always say, at least week 7 should be the start of the bye, and put more of the teams. I mean, you're not going to get like a lot of the teams playing on Sundays, and might have to cancel out a Thursday night football game or something like that. In order to do something like that, but I hate them early buys. Like I always said, the perfect buy is week 9. That's dead in the middle. You play 8 games, you get a bye week, you play another 8, and
and be ready to go.
And if you play your cards right,
week 9 bye week. I don't think I ever heard of a week 9 bye week.
Yeah, we used to have week 9 buys.
Oh, well, listen, don't quote me on that. I had to go do some research. I can't remember a team having a week 9. I mean, that's beyond perfect. Like what? Like a week 9?
Yeah, we used to have week 9.
Okay.
Aaron Burton said, "Do you think we're gonna get any more free agents?"
Absolutely. If you watch my last video, that was my last video, but I did a video doing my way too early 53-man prediction. I think that it was way early, but I think that what I wanted to do with that was I wanted to kind of show, based on the financial standpoint, how they can free up so much more money and go easily from 27 to 40 mil and still have space to re-sign contracts and restructure contracts. But I think what you're going to see is the wave of free agents you're going to see is going to come after injuries, and the biggest wave that you're going to see is after they start doing the cuts for the 53-man roster and setting practice squad. That's when you start to see those free agents start to get picked up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised we get another receiver.
I mean, I could
see it all day. Let's talk about it for a minute, guys. We got some undrafted guys on our team this season, whether it be a lineman, linebacker, or receiver. Do you guys feel like any of these guys going to make the roster? Do anybody got a chance to make the roster?
You can start off with Carl.
Go ahead, J-Mo, go ahead.
My bad, people. My bad.
I definitely, it's a few guys, but you never really know.
Yeah.
But I do think that Big Bo, Bo Menschweiler or whatever his name is, he's definitely making the team. I definitely think Trey Lamar is making the team. Okay. And those 2 guys are the only 2 guys that I'm sure making the team. I definitely see Isaiah Nuwata and Ty Johnson are draft picks. They're not undrafted, but those are the 2 guys for sure that I know they will make the team because we have a need. We have a need for them on the team, and it's spots available. Okay, but everybody else is up in the air. You really don't know.
Now I'm curious about this other receiver from Old Dominion, Jonathan Duhart. I'm really curious about this guy, man. 6'3", 210 pounds, man. The guy's a physical freak. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that I saw about him when I got a chance to watch his film is that this guy can block, and this guy will get physical with you. And and I definitely like that about him. And I know that he's going to have to battle for a position on the team. He's definitely going to have to battle.
Yeah, because you still have Brandon Powell.
Yeah.
Line and weight. You still got Amendola, obviously.
Tommy
Lee.
Lee
Going to be competing just for his hierarchy spot, so you're not going to be able to get that spot. And you got a lot of other guys. You still have the guy that we drafted.
Yeah,
he's going to be competing for a spot too.
Yeah.
So would you take? So if you had to cut somebody, would you cut Brandon Powell over this guy that's 6'3", or would you just keep Brandon?
I would keep Brandon Powell.
Well, I got bad news for you. Because I'm looking at some of the comments and I see like a Kedrick, which I'm not saying that he's crazy. I think he's hitting on the right points, but he put Parham in there. Parham not making this team. Parham's gonna be a practice squad guy. I know he's 6'8". I know all the stuff, but he's 6'8" and he looks like Dennis Rodman. He's super skinny. And You
Oh,
know,
he don't look like LeBron out there.
man, that boy out there look
No,
like
he
a
looking like
worm.
Kevin Durant.
You know, I'm just saying he's not.
Or
I
Tom
don't see him
Nichols.
making the team. I
Tayshaun
don't see him
Prince.
making the team because listen, even though he's
Looking like Brandon Ingram.
but even though he's 6'8", they're not going to carry more than 4 tight ends, and so
Yeah.
I don't see him unseating. I don't see him unseating Michael Roberts because it's not like he's a great blocker, and in terms of his catch radius, I mean it's decent. Excuse me, it's decent, but at the end of the day, I don't see him, jumping over Isaac Nada or the other 3. So it's only going to be four tight ends, and I don't see him superseding none of the people on the roster at this point. He's coming in with a very league minimum contract, and it's not going to hurt to put him on the practice squad because it doesn't destroy your cap. You take a cap hit to get rid of Michael Roberts, and I don't see him doing it. Now, if he comes in and unseat Michael Roberts, then shame on Michael Roberts. But I don't see that happening.
Hey man, Michael Roberts, me and him got beef right now. So
now I do believe that Poe is definitely making his team. Bo is definitely making his team.
Yeah.
Duhart is a hard one for me because
That's a hard one. Yeah. Because if he
hard Saints.
If he has the preseason, he can make it.
Yeah, the thing about Duhart that makes it hard, in my opinion, is you still got Powell, and Powell gives you versatility on kick and punt return, and as a slot receiver. The question becomes, can Duhart give you that same type of return as a slot receiver and an outside threat that helps free up the other receivers? And maybe I don't know.
Maybe special teams too.
And special teams is a huge part of them because they already said that, rounds 5 through 7 and undrafted are looking to be made by special teams. But Duhart, and that's what I'm saying. Like Duhart superseding Fulgham or superseding Powell, it just seems like it's going to be hard for them. Now they're going to carry at least 6 receivers.
Yeah, 6 receivers. I found that out. Yeah,
but I don't know if Duhart makes the cut. You figure right now if it's Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay, Danny Amendola, Powell,
Tommy Lee.
You figure Fulgham,
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee don't really count because I think what they're going to do with Tommy Lee is give him a shot to earn his money on special teams. I don't think, they're trying to find a backup for that special teams position.
Right.
But in terms of that, I can see, Duhart's it's going to be interesting for him to make this team. He's going to have to show up and show out for real.
Yeah,
in terms of
I would love to see him make it though. Right.
In terms of the undrafted free agent, I do think Trey Lamar, Malik Kearney, Bo, Poe, I think they make it.
Okay.
I think they're only going to take about 4 of the undrafted free agents, to be honest with you. The rest of them is going to be a dog fight.
You don't think Bo's going to make it?
No, Bo's going to make it. Bo, Poe, Trey, and Malik. I think those will be the 4.
I think ain't that the dude from the Texans?
What dude from the Texans?
Malik.
No, Malik Kearney played at
North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. He's the DN
linebacker.
Linebacker, yeah.
Yeah, linebacker DN, yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Bob Quinn said this all day. Bob Quinn said it before. He said that, we only dress 7 offensive linemen, which means that the starting 5 and 2 backups, and the 2 backups need to be able to play all 5, all 3 technically, but you need to be able to play the entire offensive line. So whoever those 2 that they don't dress is going to be huge.
All right, I got a question for the round table. Who do y'all think the starting offensive lineman is? Where? Because is Ragnar going to stay at left guard, or like, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, he's staying at left guard. They're not moving.
Who do you think the starting offensive lineman would be?
From left to right? Left tackle is going to be Dacker. Left guard is going to be Ragnar. Center is going to be Graham Glasgow. Right guard is going to be Terrell Crosby. Right tackle is going to be Rick Wagner.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Yeah, and I think the 2 backups would be Poe and Bo, and that means Wiggins and Dow must go. You see how I did that whole thing, that Ryan Skin? I was like a pimp when I did that too.
I'm dissatisfied with both of them.
I mean, that was a pimp segue. I was like, so Bo, and then you see I did that. Bo plus Poe means Wiggins.
Oh yeah,
and
don't
Dow.
forget about Ayabushi.
Well, here's the thing about Ibushi. I'm gonna tell you, Ibushi has been on this team before. This is his second stint with the Detroit Lions, and I really think that they're gonna keep him in there for depth. But he has not stuck on no team. Like it's just he struggles. He struggles. You know, when it comes to the pass block, he gets bodied, and in terms of run blocking, you know, it's questionable. I don't, you know, so that's why I don't even mention him. You know. I just don't know if it's gonna work that way. I don't think that they work so hard to get Bo and Poe to put them on practice squad. I just don't think that happens.
Especially with Pope's guaranteed contract that he got.
Right, that dude's like, yeah, you on the team. Here's your money. Let you know you on the team.
25K. What Jay-Z says. He said, I'm a hustler, baby. I can sell water to a well. I mean, that's chump change. That's chump change, you know. So you got to be able to follow the money, but understand that money that they're putting out there it's enough to get the person to come here and do his thing because you believe in what they're gonna do. Now, well, my ideal situation would be for them to do exactly what I said on the offensive line, but I would rather take Ragnar and make him the center. And then I would rather let Bo.
I don't think Graham Glasgow has this spot. Like that is his spot. I don't think that.
Well, when the training camp open up, I'll be there paying attention to see where who's who at because I got some vacation days I got to use before I lose them. So I'm gonna use them when I can. This dude said I can sell. Never mind. I'm not even reading that, Nick, because you crazy though. I like that though. But you know, it's one of them things where I think that those things stand out. Now I know that in terms of the offensive line, I think that it's going to boil down to, in my opinion, it's going to boil down to who gives you the better opportunity in run block, and that's who's going to get in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Lee Marsh says, hey man, I'll be there too on vacation. That's what's up. You might catch me out there, man. Even though I don't show my face for different reasons, work related more most of the time. But yeah, man, hey, I'm definitely gonna be there. Robert G said that's a good one. But listen, let me ask y'all this, man, because I know one of the things that people are going to be concerned about on top of who's making the team, who's getting cut. You know, for each one of y'all, I'm gonna go through the whole list. Who y'all think is going to be that breakout player for this year? Who's going to be the breakout player that's going to just change the game up? They're going to be talking about doing some stuff like Pro Bowls, and people going to be looking at. We're going to start off with you, Travis. Who's that breakout player for you?
That's easy for me.
That breakout player.
Yep. Who you think is going to be that guy that's going to break out?
You know what? Matthew Stafford, you know, because
okay.
Well, if you stop and think about it, you know, like look how much he's been getting, you know.
Yeah.
And when he comes onto that field, I think he carries that chip. Like, you know, did you guys really forget about me? Like, you know, like this guy threw for 5,000 yards and 11 interception and got snubbed out the Pro Bowl. Like, yeah. But the way I look at it is not going to be like the way he's going to play. You know, it's not going to be more of the stat wise. It's going to be more of how he plays in the game. You know, and people going to be like, oh, man, I didn't think Stafford could do this. I didn't think Stafford could do that. You know, because I think the completion percentage is going to be like through the roof, you know, or the QBR or whatever these, you know, talking heads like to. I do too. But, you know, that's what the talking heads like to see, you know, and I think, you know, and I think that's where he's going to be like, okay, this is what you guys want to see, you know, and he's going to have this, you know, phenomenal QBR to where people going to be like, man, we got to put him on the what do you call it? Pro Bowls or all pros and things like that.
Okay. All right. Now Carl said that was easy for him. He said that. Just give me a hard question. Okay, Carl. Go ahead, man.
I feel like that breakout player is gonna be Kenny Galladay.
Okay.
Why?
Why Kenny Galladay?
The reason why I say that, I think he's gonna be on notice because I think because I think our offense is more balanced. I think that opens up Kenny Galladay for big plays down the field.
Okay. Now listen. Quick segue. We have 77 people in the chat. We have 70 thumbs up. That is amazing. Keep them thumbs up going. Appreciate that support. TA, man, your breakout player. Who you think is going to be that breakout guy? And then I'll go through and read what the chat says in terms of who they think are going to be that breakout guy.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with Kerryon.
Okay.
The reason why,
now you got a few people who agree with you on that, like Aaron Burton. He says Kerryon. So you got some people who appreciate the Kerryon one.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying Kerryon is because simply this. Kerryon, you know what I'm saying? You know, we know what he was going to do last season before he got hurt against the Carolina Panthers. He was going to definitely eclipse 1,000 yards. And I definitely think that this season is his most important season because he's going to go out there with a redemption on his mind to be able to play better. And he said, man, look, I'm trying to get my body ready for 17 games. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that Kerryon, just even in his interview, I think that he's focused. He knows that he got to bulk up a little bit. He got a slender frame. He knows he got to get some weight, a little bit more weight on.
Right.
But I think he's going to be up for the challenge, man. And I definitely think this is the season we finally get our 1,000 season running back.
And we also know that Kerryon has no problem spoiling Game of Thrones for anybody. So just
he don't care about that. I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Hey, man, I love Kerryon. Like I said, Kerryon is like the slave, but he on offense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he did tell you up front, if you come on his thing, you should have watched it. Okay. So just FYI. I mean, but what say you, J-Mo? Who's that breakout player for you?
My breakout player is a player on the defense, man. You already know who it is. It's the main man, Tracy Walker, man.
Okay.
I think Tracy Walker might make a Pro Bowl.
Archaeologist says Tracy Walker as well.
I think he might make the Pro Bowl. I really believe in this kid, man. It's just when I see players have rookie seasons that good, to me, you can only get better. Especially with Matt Patricia grooming you. You know, you got to get that first year of Global Queen. Like, you know, with Darius Slay, his first year before we got rid of him, he had what's his name, Delmas?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, so I definitely think Tracy Walker is gonna have a breakout season. I think he's gonna be all over the place, getting sacks, getting interceptions. I really think he's gonna have a great season.
All right, now we got some new people who just joined us a little bit late. Thank you everybody for joining us. We got Kurt Schultz. What up, though? Welcome to the show. I seen that he's new in there, and there's a few other names, but I'm trying to stick to these questions in terms of what the fans.
What up, Jay White?
What's up, Jay White?
I'll go through and read what the names is for the people who says they break out. We got Lee Marsh. I'm sorry, we got I went way too fast. We got Noah Archaeologist who says Tracy Walker, Melvin Drew who says don't forget Nick Baldwin. Berry says Jared Davis. Aaron Burton says Kerryon. Jay White says Brandon Powell is his breakout person. Says Amani Oruwariye is his breakout person. The Baby Suflex says Deshaun Hand. Go Lions says his breakout person is Matthew Stafford. Noah says Kenny G, but I feel he's already broken out. I got some more Tracy Walkers. Bug Spray says Hand. Marcus Willis says Marvin Jones.
Roland G said Prater.
Yeah, Jay White also said
Prater.
Right, you right. Ed Whiten says Deshaun Hand, defensive end. Let me see. We're going down here. Top tier says thanks, Luke, for the joint practice video. Even though I haven't watched it yet. Hey man, no problem. You ask and you shall receive. I'm like the genie from Aladdin, man. You get 3 weeks. But here's my breakout player for this year. Believe it or not, it's Frank Ragnow. I think what I saw out of him last season, I think what I saw out of him last season was very intriguing, and I feel like if whether he's at that guard or that center, I think he takes that next step to master his craft. He admitted that he was a little bit overwhelmed at times going against some of these names because he was caught up in, oh man, I'm going against Aaron Donald, or going against Ndamukong Suh. And I think that now that he realized, well, I'm in this league for a reason and I'm playing with him, I think he's okay with it. Now, FYI, people, we have 77 people in the chat. We got 77 thumbs up. Let's clap that up, people. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
we appreciate y'all.
And for me, but for me, I really think Frank Ragnow is going to take that next step. I think he'll be a better center. I'm not going to hate on Graham Glasgow like that, but I just think Graham Glasgow is not as versed in doing certain things that a center needs to do. So that my breakout.
I got a question for all of us then.
Okay.
Who do you think besides Darius Slay has an opportunity to make a Pro Bowl this season?
Ooh.
I mean, we basically just named all the players, right?
No, that's breakout. We didn't
Your
say
Kenny Galladay's, your Carry-Ons, your Tracy Walkers.
I mean,
your Matthew Staffords.
Who is your pick to make the Pro Bowl this season from the Lions?
I think you know what. I think here. I mean, let me do this. I'm gonna make it a little bit more tenderizing for you. Okay.
Okay.
Make it more tenderizing for you, TA. The better question is, how many Pro Bowls would the Lions have this season?
I already told y'all that before.
Because I think if you just pick it, we're just gonna repeat the same names. The question is, how many people do you think on the Detroit Lions will make the Pro Bowl this year? I think we had one last season.
I'm gonna say 3.
You got 3. Give me your 3 real quick.
Kenny G, Carry-On, and Stafford.
All right, that go our 3. General G. Berry says 3. Aaron Burton says 2. Arthur Williams says 5. Bug Spray says 9. Lord.
Yeah, I said 8, man. Like y'all don't know.
Joseph Murdoch says 4. Detroit's own Big Will. What up, though, man? He says 5. Kedrick says Davis, Rick Wagner, and Walker. So 3 for him. Nolan says 5. Noman says 4. Woo, that's
okay. I say 6 though.
6.
We got we're gonna have the triplets, man. Stafford, Carey, and Honey Galladay. That's the triplets.
What about Flowers?
Yeah, I mean, like I said 6. So you know, I definitely got Darius Slay. I definitely think Tracy Walker is gonna make the Pro Bowl. And y'all about to be surprised by this last one, but TJ Hawkinson, man.
TJ Hawkinson.
Hey, that's exactly who I was gonna pick too.
I'm telling you, I think TJ gonna shut all the Lions fans up with how great he is. And it's not gonna start at the beginning, it's gonna go throughout the season.
You saying Hawkinson gonna make the Pro Bowl in his rookie season?
Yes, man.
Okay.
I'm telling y'all, he gonna put him on notice. Matt Prater was a good one. Matt Prater is an alternate for anybody that I said. Matt Prater always makes Pro Bowl.
Now listen, Evan and Donnie, I'm probably pronouncing his last name wrong. He says 22, all 22 making the Pro Bowl. That would be the first.
Go Lions said that he agreed with me. Thank you, Go Lions, man.
Yeah, Go Lions said.
I think we're gonna have 2 defensive backs.
Mike Powell here. Welcome, Mike Powell. Jay White says Kenny Galladay, Jared Davis, Slade Diggs, Stafford, Snacks, 6 for him. I mean, listen, I ain't mad at y'all. Talk to the people, Travis. Give me how many people you see going to the Pro Bowl this year?
Okay. There's going to be 4 on offense and 4 on defense.
Wow.
So I'm going to have 8.
Wow, you got 8.
Oh, you going with 8, like I said. All right.
You got 8 people going to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, hey, man, Lions gonna win the division this year. What you expect?
Man, listen, y'all got me feeling bad about my numbers over here, Lord.
I just think, Luke, man, we've had years with Caldwell when we was having 4 Pro Bowlers, and that was back then without Carry On.
Right.
Now, OG says 3. Carl, how many you got?
I got 6.
6.
I'm
gonna go.
Evan on Dion said he agreed with me too on the 6 that I had. Go ahead, Travis.
I'm gonna go 4.
I got 3 on offense and 3 on defense. On offense, I got Carry On, Stafford, and Kenny G. And then on defense, I have Trey Flowers, Jared Davis, and Darius Slay.
Okay.
I like that list, Carl.
That's solid.
I only got 4.
All right, Travis, what's your 8?
Who's my 8?
Yep.
There's Stafford. There's Carry On.
2.
Kenny Galladay.
3.
And then TJ Hawkinson, because I think that's going to send another direct message to Eric Ebron, who needs to quit talking about us.
Yeah.
Right, you gonna learn this year, Ebron.
You gonna
Oh,
learn.
yeah.
You gonna learn.
He gonna learn something today.
Right. All right, we got 4.
And then-
We got 4.
And then on defense, I got Flowers. I got Hand, Slay, and
I like
Davis.
that pick.
Now,
I like that Hand pick, man.
Listen, really quick, let me put this disclaimer out there because I know this is going to happen. For those people who are in the chat with us, I want to put this out there. You're going to start to notice that real soon you're going to see some YouTube videos popping up with these ideas that we're talking about. So you're going to see people coming up with some videos talking about who's going to be, how many Pro Bowlers is going to be on this team. Mark my words, they listening, they watching, they going to copy.
Right, so when they copy all our videos, y'all know where you got it from.
You know,
they're
going to come out. They're going to come out and pay attention to the titles, people. You're going to notice that when a roundtable talk, all of a sudden YouTube goes crazy and they create videos based off of that. So just FYI, don't be shocked when you see it. Just make sure you call them out and be like, where you get that from?
We're not going to mention the names,
but now listen, here's the thing though. Yeah. I got 4, and my 4 is going to probably be awkward in a way, but my 4 is going to be Frank Ragnow. I think he's going to be the other person I think is going to make it is going to be Kenny Galladay. I think he's going to Pro Bowl. Now on the defensive side of the ball, I got 2 people I think is going to make it on the defensive side of the ball. I think Jared Davis makes the Pro Bowl. I think given the fact that he showed significant improvement after adding Snacks Harris.
Shout out Noah, archaeologist, donating that $2, man.
And he states, let's get it, one pride, with the cool photo up there, man. That's what's up. I love people who embrace parenthood. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. And then the last person after the Jared Davis on defense that I think is going to make the Pro Bowl, and I don't know why I'm making this pick, to be honest with you, but I think it's just that he's getting more recognition. It's Quandre Diggs.
Quandre can come in and
do it. So.
I'm surprised you don't got Slay on there. Like who in the NFC gonna keep Slay from making a Pro Bowl?
The reason I don't see Slay making it is because when you go through and you look at the rest of the league, it's a lot of good corners in the league. It's not, if you go and look in terms of the linebackers, there are a lot of good linebackers, but they always take the most improved linebacker and put them in there. And in terms of the safeties, there's not a lot of good safeties out there like that. So
it's a lot of corners. Yeah, that's good.
Make it in terms of offensive line. When you look at the offensive line, it's like, you just need to be able to do your job. And I think he was getting better as time went on. So that's just kind of why.
Yeah, I don't see Xavier Rose making it over Slay.
No, I'm just saying.
And usually it's what three or four cornerbacks.
Patrick Peterson.
I definitely think he's a top 4. Patrick Peterson was making last year. Kyle Fuller had that crazy year and made it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's Slay, and Xavier Rhodes is the best corners in the whole NFC. So I don't think he would make it over Slay. I definitely think Slay making the Pro Bowl. He got that respect, man. He had that year that he had last year made the Pro Bowl. And I definitely think he's gonna be better in getting the interceptions too.
Now, let me just go ahead and say this. We are now up to 89 people in the chat. We have 79 likes. Let's get those likes up. People, keep those numbers going up. This helps get the DSA and this unbiased Detroit sports talk out there. This is what allows for us to get more exposure and to get rid of those people who just want to report on what they read somewhere. This helps fix that problem. And so get those likes up, people. That way that this video gets more exposure. And shout out to Matthew Huntley, who says Munchback get 3 Pro Bowls this year. Book it. If
Texas and Mobile.
Hey, man, y'all know about Don Muleback. Don Muleback is a curse, man.
Oh man, no.
He's the only person left from the 0-16 roster, y'all. We got to get rid of him.
Right.
It's a curse, man. As long as he's here, we always gonna be Lions. Get rid of him.
No, man, no, don't say
0-16 roster.
Hey,
now,
Death Taxes and Don Muleback.
Sean Jones says, I'm here, people. Welcome, Sean Jones. You came a little late, but we got a few more minutes to rock with you, man. So rock with us, man. Have some fun with it.
Hold on, Luke. Joseph Murdoch said, TA, who do you think is the rookie of the year? TJ Hockenson. I think Hockenson, if you're talking about offense, I'm going with Hawk.
Yeah, I can't give it to Hawk. I think it's somebody who's gonna get more opportunities than him.
You think it's somebody good? So how does he make a Pro Bowl then?
Get a lot of opportunities, man.
So how does he make a Pro Bowl then?
I think he's gonna be the third receiving threat.
Yeah, I think.
Hold on, guys. We got to shout out Melvin Drew. He said the Lions have some swag on this defense. Period.
And he dropped $2.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And he dropped $2. Yep, on the super chat.
Appreciate that. And Mike Powell says, "Get those likes up. Support my G Luke." Hey man, listen, we just trying to get the whole DSA supported, man. We got 91 people in the chat, 84 likes. Let's see if we can match that 91 in terms of likes, and that'll keep it pumping. Now, here's my thing. I think that there are going to be some people who are going to get more opportunities. I think that people like Hollywood Brown's going to get more opportunities than TJ Hockenson, because TJ Hockenson is going to be relegated to do more than Hollywood Brown is. And people who are in fantasy football are going to love the money that they make from fantasy football, and those guys get the nod first. In terms of N'Keal Harry on New England, he's going to get more opportunities than TJ Hockenson. Yeah, what TJ Hockenson got to do is he has to not only not drop a ball, he's going to have to not drop a ball and punish people on top of it.
So how many touchdowns you predicting for TJ Hockenson this season?
Honestly, I expect us to be in the red zone a whole lot. So I'm gonna say anywhere between 6 and 10.
Ooh, 6 and 10, Luke?
Yep, 6 and 10.
Okay. I can see that in between 6 and 10. I can see that.
Yeah. Now keep in mind that it's about opportunities. And if you get those opportunities, you have to be able, to get it popping. Now, Nomis J said he's gonna get between 8. General G Berry said he's gonna get 7 touchdowns. Kedrick said 11. Man, he get 11. He definitely going to the Pro Bowl.
I just think like he's gonna end up leading us in touchdowns this year, because I've been watching this film and looking at the way he runs in the end zone. And when you got Marvin and Kenny Golladay, you're gonna have to focus on them. He's gonna be running around the end zone finding creases and seams, and Stafford gonna be lighting them up in the red zone all day.
I mean,
he has a real potential to lead us in touchdowns.
This is the truth right here, and I don't think they noticed this. The truth is the Detroit Lions do pass to the tight end often. There's this myth that the media puts out that, they don't use the tight end a lot. They pass to him a lot. They don't catch it. That's the problem.
So we can't catch the ball, man.
And listen, Carl can probably touch on this. Carl, when you sit up there and you watch the Lions, what are some things that you see in terms of how they use the tight end? Because they was throwing the ball. What's his name? Toyola, whatever his name is.
I mean, I can see it. I mean, we were passing the time, but they weren't catching it. I mean, because I remember one particular day on Thanksgiving Day, I was visiting Michigan. I mean, and I wanted to throw my food at the TV because Michael Roberts was running his routes. So I mean, you know what I mean?
It's one of the things where when you see bad play like that, it makes it hard for you to trust that position. And J-Mo hit on it earlier where he said if you catching it, he trusts you. He's throwing the ball to you. So and that's the truth. Now let me ask y'all this, because here's a question that I like, and I can't remember who posted it. I do apologize, but I was trying to keep it going. He asked the question of who's going to be that guy who gets cut on that doesn't make the 53-man roster. That's going to be a complete surprise. Now I got 2 names. I got 2 names that I think would be an absolute surprise if that would get cut from the 53-man roster. And it's some names that people are gonna be like, okay. But then again, I did kind of mention it in a few videos already. So just food for thought. But we're gonna start off with you, TA. 2 people. Give me some people. Who are these, or at least one person that you think is gonna be a surprise cut for the 53-man roster?
Theo Riddick and probably Tease Tabor.
Okay. All right. Well, I think Tease Tabor would definitely be one of the surprise cuts given how much support he's gotten in recent time. I think he would definitely be one of the surprise.
Would it really be a surprise in Lions fans' eyes though?
No, it wouldn't. And that's
like Lions fans want him going anyway.
That's what it was. It was Mozart Most Humble. That's who posed the question. Thanks, man. Appreciate the question.
How do you donate? It's a super chat button to your right in the bottom right hand corner. Some people were asking how to donate, man. If you want to support, so we can make this content better for y'all. Thanks for all of that.
We appreciate it, guys.
So who do you think is going to gonna be that surprise cut, J-Mo?
Tavon Wilson. Get him out of here.
That's your surprise
Wow,
cut?
I was about to say
Tavon
that
Wilson.
too. Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, Tavon Wilson.
Okay. All right. And you agree, huh, Carl? You say Tavon Wilson. See, these are none of those are nobody y'all have named so far are surprises to me. None of them.
I don't know, man. I like, it's funny. Like I firmly believe really gonna make the team, but I'm afraid somehow Zach Zenner don't make the team. We seen what happened to him last year. That's my only other guy that got on offense that might lose a spot. And I love Zach Zenner. I love Double Z.
Now, AKA Hollywood says if Tabar gets cut, the Pats will probably pick him up. Yeah, and they're going to use him the right way. I think he's a safety.
Yeah.
Now, Travis, talk to me, man. Who you think is going to be that surprise cut?
Man, this is a hard one. But
it's hard.
It is a hard question. It's definitely a hard question.
They definitely making us think today. Now,
wait! I gotta read this really quick before while you think about that. I gotta read this. This is exactly what he says. Most humble says Tease Tabar, Theo Reddick, and Andre Drummond. Where did Andre Drummond come from?
Y'all be tripping on Andre.
Why y'all doing like that, man? Dre good, man. That's your double guy, man.
Listen, they cut Andre Drummond. I know something is messed up in the Pistons locker room and stuff. I mean, what in the world? But okay,
they better not do that.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Travis. Who you got for that surprise cut?
Well, I know both. Two people said two people each of who I was thinking. So I'm going to try to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to say Christian Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say what do you call it? Kenny Wiggins.
Think about it. All right.
Oh, okay.
It's somebody else that I got too. I'm gonna
and for me personally, none of the people y'all named were surprised. The people that I think that are going to be the surprise cuts is going to be Graham Glasgow. If you look at his contract, I think he gives you a good return on his money, and he can be a surprise cut because they can then move Frank Ragnow over to the center. They can put Bo and Poe at guard or however they want to play around with that, or they can put Crosby and Poe or Bo, however they want to do it. But I think Graham Glasgow is fighting for his life. The second person that I think would be a surprise cut that I don't think many people are thinking about or looking at could be Ashawn Robertson. And I know people are going to say, what do you mean? Well,
I definitely can see that.
Robertson. And the reason I say that is because they added this guy, Kaligo, which he's not going to make the team, but they added him. They got in PJ Johnson. They've added some defensive line depth there. And in terms of Ashawn Robertson, yes, he had a successful season going against the run. But I think if for any reason he decides that he don't want to perform, and the coaching staff has made it very clear, this is about competition. Nobody has a starting spot. And if you don't have a starting spot, you got to show up and show out. So there's no room for people. In terms of the people who are saying names like Rick Wagner, the cap hit is way too high. It's not going to happen. The people who are saying the people who are saying Marvin Jones, that cap hit is way too high. They're not going to do that. To the people like Miles Killebrew, I mean, he could be a cut, but I wouldn't know if that's a surprise per se. I don't know if that's a surprise. But y'all got to keep in mind when talking about cutting people, what the contract say.
I don't think we looked at the numbers. We just thinking.
Shout out James Sheep for the donation.
Yeah, we want to shout out James Sheep again. He drops another $2 in the super chat. Appreciate that. Next time, James, put a comment in there, man. Let us know you get that preferential question, man. You drop a super chat, you get first dibs at the question. It's simple. Gridiron Blitz is in the building. Derek is in the building listening. He's like, thank you for the support. Hey, man, that's what's
Shout
up.
Out to the Gridiron Blitz, man.
Right. We got
Shout
7.
GB.
Now, listen, OG says, Luke G, I love your cap cut 53 projection roster. Excellent. Appreciate it. I think that Quinn made 2 statements that gave me the idea to do it, where he said that our process of looking for a new talent does not end with the draft, and that lets me know that he's trying to constantly improve the team. And then he says that there's nothing better than having financial stability, and that lets me know that they're going to free up as much money to fix extensions and add other talent. Now we got Kirkland Pratt, who dropped $5 in the super chat. What up, though, Kirkland Pratt? He says, "What up, fellas? Appreciate the show. Been listening for a whole month, man. Don't do me like that. Put tears in my eye. Don't do me like that.
That's what's up, Kirk. We appreciate
But we
you.
appreciate that, man. We really do.
That.
Believe it or not, all of us work hard in 9-to-5 jobs and school, and still come on and do this for you guys because we love this team and we want y'all to have this unbiased and fair media." James Hughes says, "Patricia Coach of the Year." Ooh, if they go 11-5 and win the division, yes.
11-5 or 12-4, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we have to win 12 games.
To be honest with you, they have to win at least 11 games. They can't win. They can't go 10-6 and he make Coach of the Year. If they go 10-6 and he win a division, he's definitely getting Coach of the Year. You talking about winning a division for the first time in what? Since Moses parted the Red Sea?
Yeah,
so
28 years, baby. 28 years.
So it'll be one of those things.
I got a question for y'all though.
Holler at us, Carl.
What do you guys think is the toughest game on the schedule this year?
Yeah, you gonna do that, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, leave it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say my piece, man. Kansas City. I'm gonna just say Kansas City.
Oh, that's the easiest one in my opinion. But I mean,
it's funny. Y'all gonna be surprised by the game that I say. Go ahead, y'all.
And listen, I just want to know why Carl had to be the one to come with this question, Carl. You don't just come out with these curveballs like that. You know what I'm saying? People wasn't ready, man. Golly, now I gotta go look at the schedule.
No, I'm literally looking it up too. But I already got the game that I think is going to ironically be our toughest. Y'all gonna be surprised by. What you think, Travis Troxel?
All right, well let's see. Is Troxel ready? What do you think is going to be our toughest game?
Our toughest game.
Okay, I thought you passed off for a minute.
Oh no! No, I had to jog my memory for real quick.
Go ahead, man.
Toss up. I got two teams that I think is gonna be like the craziest one. And it's gonna be the Washington Redskins and the Denver Broncos. Like I think one of them two is gonna be like. They're going to be – well, for one, us in Washington, we hate each other. Obviously, they're the ones that took us out of our Super Bowl run back in 91, so we got beef with them still, And then on top of that, with the stat of, we've only beat them once in a long time. So, obviously we got, some beef with them, so we got to try to take care of that one. And then the cold weather and things like that over in Denver is going to cause some issues.
Okay. All right. Now, Carl, you came up with this amazing question that put everybody in a stressful moment. Tell us, what do you think that most difficult game is? That's going to be the toughest one.
I'm going to have to say that Denver game, man, because it's just because of those conditions. It's like those are some tough conditions. We're playing them week 16 in Denver with all that altitude and that cold weather and stuff. That's gonna be a very tough game. Yeah,
that is. I agree with the Denver and the Redskins game because Redskins, it's like going up to Washington is like kryptonite to us, and I don't understand it. So it's crazy to see that.
But I actually think, ironically, one of the toughest games of the season is gonna be that Vikings game in December. It's gonna be late in the year. It's gonna be in Minnesota, and the Vikings are the team that we think is gonna be the most competition with us and for the division. And I definitely think that's gonna be a really tough game to win in those circumstances at the end of the year. Yeah. And I also, of course, the Broncos game. I don't have us winning that Broncos game. So
no, I don't have us winning that one either.
Yeah, I definitely think that game will be tough. But I definitely think the Vikings. I'm telling you, that Vikings game will be tough later on in the year.
Now, can I say?
Listen. I want to interject, and I'm gonna let you go. Have the floor, Travis. My apologies. But now that I think about that Vikings game, you're right. They're gonna get real patty because they got a retractable roof, and I could just see them letting the snow come in that damn day, just like the
Hey, I'm with you though.
Everybody coming in, they gonna tell the fans before they get there, put on coats. We opening up the roof. We want them to be uncomfortable, okay? And I'm telling you, it's one of them things where when you said it, I thought about it, and I said, good point. Now, Sean Jones makes a good point, but I'll get to in the 1 minute. Travis, what you got for us?
That's why we gonna practice early in the snow, like we did last year.
Right. What you got for us, Travis?
Yeah. Now, I will say this. With that Denver game, another key factor that really pops out, though, is they new head coach, Vic Fangio. He loves scheming against us.
Oh, Stafford. Yeah, I didn't think about that neither. That's a good point, too. I mean, you
know what, though?
You do got to win a record against Vic Fangio, though. Let's just throw that out there.
If we go to Denver, and we can run the ball well, we might have a chance.
That is true.
Yeah, but that altitude, man.
Yeah, I know that altitude. I know that's everybody pretty much putting that as an L.
Their defense is going their defense is like a weird defense. Their defense shows up in big games, even when the defense on paper isn't good.
Yeah,
it don't make no sense.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for.
If that was a huge game for us, I could see Denver like, oh, we're gonna rise up tonight. Giving a hard game for our life.
We can't let the Lions come in here and win.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Now, here's the thing. This is a good question by Sean Jones. He says, you got to think of the dogs who's going to win in competition in camp. They purposely drafted players similar to other players for competition. It's healthy and produces the best. And the way I took that is like, how like if you got like Shazam, you got Black Adam. If you got Batman, you got Joker. It's like it's always like the person who's opposite of what they are. Like, and I think that he's right in the fact that they're creating a competition because they don't want nobody to no longer think that your job is secure. You're going to earn it every chance, and if you don't, I'll give it to somebody else because the guy behind you is just as good. And I think that's a perfect point to have right there. Buffed Up comes in and say, "What up, though? What up, though?" Buffed Up. Tone Capone says Quinn said Davis was for the old coaching scheme. True, but Davis has versatility still, and Davis will still make this team, and he just had to prove it, and he'll earn his contract.
Buffed Up said that the Philly game is 100% a loss. I wouldn't say 100% loss, but I don't have us winning the Philly game. Yeah, I just think that's going to be a tough early season game in Philly to win. But we could beat them too, though. So it depends on how Carryon run the ball in that game.
True,
and I didn't have us winning that game on the schedule.
And Roland G says, Lou G, you're overlooking the Eagles. They always play us tough. That is true, but here's the thing: they keep on the quarterback get hurt every time I look around. They keep going through an injury situation, and every time they go through an injury situation, to be honest, the team looked it better under Nick Foles than they did under Carson Wentz, surprisingly. And I'm just saying that if the Lions can come in and take advantage of some of their weaknesses right now, I think that works in our favor. They have some good people over there. I'm not gonna act like they're slouches. They've lost some people too. They've lost the cornerback. They've lost the DN. They've lost some linebackers. They've lost some people, and the people they replaced them with don't scare me. So I'm not overlooking them. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, if that is a loss, it don't matter. I got them going 3-1 in the first quarter of the season.
Yeah, and that's crazy because it's going to be Fant versus Hawkinson in that game, definitely. So that's going to be
the Denver game.
Yeah, in the Denver game.
Now, Buffed Up says, can the Lions defend Deshaun Jackson, Jeffrey, Aguilar, Selleck, and Zach Ertz, Jordan Howard? Yeah. I mean, if you want me to do the matchups for you, if you figure that the top receiver is, say, Alshon Jeffrey, they'll probably put the second corner on him.
Yeah, we got bigger corners too.
Play with Deshaun Jackson. So now you say, okay, they got him covered. Aguilar, you got Coleman with Aguilar, so that problem solved. In terms of Selleck and Zach Ertz, they don't run. They run a little too tight in sets, but it's not like they're using it to its full effect. They like having that three receiver set out there with the tight end. So that in and of itself, I think puts us in an advantage because we run nickel defense majority of the time. So I'm okay with that. In terms of Jordan Howard is Jordan Howard. But the difference between Jordan Howard on the Chicago Bears and this team is they're going to run him often and early, and I think that he's going to run into a lot of brick walls. So yeah, I can see the matchups working pretty much evenly in our favor. No arguments or fights there. So
I just think that Carson Wentz, I think he's gonna be healthy, and I just think he's gonna have a good game in that game. I just think it's tough to go to Philly and win, man.
It's tough.
I can't argue and say that you're wrong. I can't.
I know they're going to try to run the ball with Jordan Howard. They're definitely going to try to. And I forgot they picked up Miles Sanders too, so they're definitely going to try to run the ball.
Only reason is that's a game that I can see Stafford getting sacked in.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Talk to him.
You know, Matt Patricia still hasn't got his revenge on Philly defense.
Yeah, he hasn't.
And
from that
defense lost some stuff too.
Yeah, but can he do it in Philly? That's the biggest thing.
Oh, I think they do. I mean, I did put him at a loss, but then like more and more I'm thinking about it, we got a very good shot at going 4-0. Like I had him going 3-1, but I'm not sleeping on the Chargers, and the reason why is because it's early. You know, that could be that 50-50 game, so that could be the 3-1. You know, because there's two 50-50 games. There's the Chargers and the Eagles. For me. Yeah. You know, either one could flip-flop. You know, like we could win the Chargers game, lose the Eagles. We can lose the Chargers and win the Eagles, or we could just go 4-0.
Yeah.
You know, because it's early in the season though, too.
Well, I can tell you,
you don't know.
They go 4-0. No, there's gonna be some people really shocked. Now, I can tell you this. I do think you're hitting on some very good points in terms of how the first quarter of the schedule can go. But I think we got matchups that can meet the standard for these teams. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I think that's the thing we got to look at. Now, here's a question from Brandon Anderson. He says, Quinn has said fit the scheme. Not sure where Melvin and Tone getting this thought. Davis is somehow not a scheme fit or not long for Detroit. Quinn has said the exact opposite. Yeah, I think what they were saying is that he does not quite you know, they were saying that he was drafted. He did make a comment where he said that, you know, he was drafting for the previous game. He's doing something a little bit different this year around. So they're saying that he could be a casualty when his contract is up. I think that's the point that they were trying to make. But I do understand what you're saying. He does fit, and he has that versatility, and he plays well enough, and I think he's getting better. So Ed Whiting says, which offensive lineman is our weak link? Can we keep Stafford clean if we go down by 14 points?
Rick Wagner.
I don't think
Rick Wagner or the guy next to him.
Yeah, I don't see. I've always looked at the offensive line like a spinal cord. One vertebrae or one nerve snip, and it's just all out of whack. And to me, the weakest link is Graham Glasgow. I just don't like when you look at Max Urgent, you look at Alex Max, those type of centers, those people who move you out the way, who direct the traffic, you know, those would be the difference for me. So I think the center is the big, because he got to be able to see things to verbiage it back to the quarterback and so forth. Now, if you have not hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen, please do. If you a hater and you want to give a thumbs down, we appreciate that support too. We need all that energy and want you to keep it when we bust your team up in this season. So keep that same. Okay? But in the meantime, if you have not hit that like button, hit it. We are doing a great job. We maxed out at 91 people at one point in the chat. We are at 90 likes, and I know that we can get a few more. So let's see if we can push them up and get them close to that 100 if possible. But another question that I saw, you know, in terms of saying about the 14. It says, why ask with the defense? We ain't going down by 14. And J Mo does the thumbs up. And pointing says exactly. I think that they're going to have to keep. I think they're going to have to talk about keeping them clean. And I think that's a big point of contention for them. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. One of the ways to keep Stafford clean is to run the ball. Yeah, the short the routes. Here's a known fact for you people. Tom Brady threw the ball 64 times in the playoffs, right? 64 total times in the playoffs. 58 of them went 10 yards or less. I mean, that's food for thought. He's not throwing the ball deep down the field. So in terms of the offensive line, in my opinion, I think Graham Glasgow is the weakest link. And to me,
I think Graham is. Wow.
Yeah, because
Graham's never been that good, but he's been good enough.
If you're a center, okay, even when I play middle linebacker and I play outside linebacker and I play rush edge, I play DN. But even when I played, if the center didn't identify me right, or the quarterback didn't identify me right, I brought all type of hell. It was all type of problems coming because you didn't identify me. And if you did identify me, it didn't matter because I didn't care. I was going to run through you anyway. But the thing was, a lot of the time, the center has to give that verbiage back to the quarterback. The quarterback translates to everybody else. Everybody to be on the same page. It has to be a well-oiled machine. And if you are not, if you are not one of those guys who understand how anything mechanically works, it has to have the right lube for it to work. And because we have young Carl on here, I'm gonna keep it about as clean as that. But you have to be able to have.
Know what you're
Carl, you
didn't even have to say it, Luke.
Carl,
you let it go.
No, man.
We snitching on yourself now. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where that's what's going on. And to me, the line has to be that. And I feel like Ragnar would be better at center than he is right now. And I think they're going to try to address that. And that's just my opinion.
That's why I said I don't think Glasgow's going to be the starting center. I don't believe that at all in the slightest. I think that.
Do you think Glasgow is better?
I think they're going to move him back to left guard.
To me, I think Glasgow. I think if he gets cut, and real quick, because Aaron Bourbon out here clowning, he drops $2 in the super chat. And he says, "Love the roundtable. More Carlos free pre-P articles. Yeah, no more. Yeah, don't read Carlos, man. Carlos gonna have you.
Don't read
Carlos. Gonna have your head spinned up.
Carlos was asked. Listen, y'all got to understand something. Carlos was not always writing like this. But when Drew Sharp passed away, RIP Drew Sharp, when he passed away as the residential Lions hater, they needed somebody to keep that negativity going, and he was the one deemed to do it. So it's not like he's really feeling this. It's just that he has to keep this persona going. But I think if the question came up from OG, he says, if we move Ragnar to the center, then who plays the left? One of our 8 tight ends? Nope. Those 2 undrafted guards that we picked up, Pope and Pope.
Or Glasgow.
Yeah. Or Crosby. So you got. We
keep forgetting about Terrell Crosby. We keep forgetting
about Crosby. So
I ain't forgetting about Crosby, man. They love Crosby.
Well, see, this is the way I would say is it'd be Decker, Glasgow, Ragnow, for right now, Crosby, and then Wagner. And then eventually, they're gonna go with I mean, but then like you'll see like Crosby go to the left tackle, you see Bo Benchois go to right guard, and then really it's gonna be up in the air for what do you call it? For Glasgow or that Poe guy.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think the only reason they're not going to move Glasgow, why am I pronouncing that man's name like that? But the only reason they're not going to move him over to the left guard is because he does not have the athletic ability when it comes to pulling. I've watched him at guard and try to pull, and it's like literally watching like that old lady parking. No matter how many times she backs up, go back in, it's still going to be cattle corner, and that's what it looks like. And I think that's why they have him at center because he better suits that. But I think that the overall upgrade would be Ragnow at the center. In my opinion, just me.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I do want to see Rick or Wagner rated at the center too.
I think everybody wants that.
Yeah.
I think it worked out better. It worked out better on every front. Again, FYI, people, for those who have just joined us and those who have been here all along, we have talked about a number of different topics. Make no mistake, it's going to be some people who are going to turn these into videos, so be on the watch. And when they do, call them out. Just call them out and they'll stop it because we cannot have unbiased we can't have biased media outlets and people stealing other people's work and hard effort. So let's make sure we cover that. And if y'all see somebody who's took an idea and they didn't even expunge upon it, definitely call them out, because we gotta start to kill some of this thievery stuff that's going on. Now, here's a question from Sean Jones, who says we have lots of DBs. Who's the odd man out in the cornerback department? Newsflash, people, they generally carry about 8 corners and about 5 safeties. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, in the last show we talked about this in depth too.
Yeah, and it's one of them things where I think if you watch my video where I broke down the way too early 53-man roster, I talk about the defensive backs and stuff like that. But obviously there's some names that that's not going to be there. Like Marcus Cooper is going to be out. Mike Ford is going to be out. Rashawn Melvin is his job to lose that number.
Tavon Wilson going to be out.
Tavon Wilson is going to be out. D Version is going to be out. Andrew Adams is going to have a chance to earn a spot, but it's going to be his to lose. So yeah, you got a lot of different people who can be out, but like Mike Ford could be out.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be between Rashawn Melvin and Amani going at it for that number 2 spot.
Absolutely, the number 2 spot is.
Yeah, no, not Tease.
No, Tease gonna be competing for that spot, man. That's what
he ain't gonna get it, man. He's not gonna get it, man. Tease not gonna get it.
Right.
You don't know that, man. You don't know that, man.
No, he's not getting it, man.
What up, though? He says, "What happened today? I just got in, man. A lot has happened. Please go back and watch it. If you have not liked the video yet, please like it. We are up to 92. We are trying to see if we can get them up to 100. We got our first thumbs down. I can almost guarantee I know who that is, and I appreciate that love. Thank you for being a part of the show, because even though you gave him a thumbs down, what you did is gave him a few views, and we appreciate that as well. So all the beautiful support from our haters, because without you, we wouldn't know how great we are. We just want to let you know God bless you, and we appreciate you. Now that we got that clicked up, if you have not hit that like button, please do so. Okay.
Yeah, make sure we get the likes up, guys. We're gonna end up Go ahead, Luke.
Copyright infringement. Let's shut them down. Get Luke off timeout. Yeah, I'm still on timeout, man. This is crazy. No, I haven't got an email. Ain't nobody phone me. I ain't got no pigeon. You know, they could at least have heard or something. Told me something.
Yeah, hopefully soon, Luke. Hopefully soon, baby.
Now Mara says I'm gonna go back and watch it, man. Yes, it's a lot going on. We talked about a lot of different topics from what do you expect out of the coaching staff to, it was a lot. We did
Pro Bowl players.
Yeah, Pro Bowl players and everything. Sean Jones didn't think T. Tabor about to ball out.
Yeah, I think we were writing up T. Tabor a little bit too much, man.
Yeah, the thing
is, Bob Quinn literally said he's not a safety. He said he likes him a little bit nickel, but he said he was an outside corner. This is what Bob Quinn said. So, y'all just assuming he gonna lose that spot. All right, man. Hey, corners take a while to develop sometimes, man.
And shout out Numbers J, who said #free Luke G. Yeah, they got me on lockdown. General G.
#free Luke.
I'm locked up.
Yeah, they got me locked down.
Yeah, Ramon said, I think T's gonna come through this year.
Now, listen, we got 94 likes. We are almost to 100. I would love for him to hit 100 likes. That would be awesome, because I don't even think.
Let's get them likes up, people.
I don't think any of us has hit 100 likes, man. So that's awesome if we can get him to hit 100 likes. If you have not liked the video, please do. The 1 thumbs down. Again, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We love you.
We love you anyway. But TA, the floor is yours, man. What you got, man?
Yeah, so hey guys, we're gonna get ready to wrap the show up. You know how we do it. So, we always do the segment on your final words, your last words of tonight, and what you want to give the people and what you want to leave them with tonight. Your thoughts on the Lions, starting with Trox.
Well, I will say, we need to get one more person to like this video. We got 99 right now.
Right.
Yeah,
99.
99 just won't do, man. We need 100.
Let's go. Come on, people.
But I want to say, you know what, you guys, I appreciate you guys all coming out to enjoy this round table. Keep your eyes out for any theft on the content, and enjoy you guys' night. One pride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We want to make an announcement too. Make sure you guys check out Travis Troxel, CA3 Sports Talk, 313 JMO, also Detroit Drew. They got a show coming out for you guys. And when is that show, Trav?
It's gonna be tomorrow at 8 on it's possibly gonna be on what do you call it? I gotta message him tonight to make sure
Detroit Drew,
everything's
right?
good. Yeah, on Detroit Drew's channel, and it's gonna be at 8 o'clock tomorrow. It's gonna be we're gonna talk about Pistons and basketball in general. It's gonna be fun.
Man, that's beautiful.
All right, go ahead, keep it going. Keep it going,
So
T.
yeah, so your last thoughts for tonight, Carl, man. We enjoyed you, man. So what you got to say to the people tonight, man, about the Lions?
Man, you guys should expect drastic improvements next season. And all I gotta say, man, just advice: just be your own person, man. Don't steal other people's content, man. It's just be your own person.
Yeah,
Support that.
that's what's up, man. So
Hey, we got a
also,
shout out to Aaron Burden.
yeah, hey Aaron, man, Aaron, you've been blowing us up all night, man. We appreciate you, bro. Nothing but love from the round table.
Absolutely.
Matthew Huntley said have Carl post so he can put him to his list or something.
Yeah, so put a message in the chat, Carl, so he can add you. So he can like click on your name and add you. Also, make sure that y'all subscribe to all these different people, man. We're trying to create a bigger network so y'all can constantly know that the people who are putting out content are doing it in a fair and honest way. So Matthew Huntley, there's Carl Post. He says, "What up, though?" All right, TA, keep it pushing, bro. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Also, 3-1. I got my boy 313 JMO. I know you got some final words to say to the people.
What's up, everybody? I definitely want to say, concerning the Lions, I do think that this year we will match up with the people in our division. I want people to pay attention, do a little bit more research. I think the defensive line is going to be vastly improved along with Kerryon Johnson in the run game. And Piston Center Court, I will be dropping a promo video tonight, like right after we get done doing this. I will be dropping a little promo video for Piston Center Court. It's gonna be tomorrow on Wednesday at 8 p.m. So make sure y'all tune in for that so we can talk about the Pistons, and what's going on in the NBA right now. And back to the Lions, I think Bob Quinn is definitely not finished, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happened and we get another really, really solid player. I know he's not finished. He's been a little bit too quiet, so expect something to happen.
Okay, Luke G, Field General, what you got to say to the people, man, before we end this thing?
First off, just shout out to we got 105 likes. I truly appreciate y'all showing so much love.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Shout out to y'all, man, for making that happen.
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm happy we got it up there. And shout out to the one thumbs down because we need y'all to know that we're doing something right. If y'all hate us, so appreciate that. Also, I really want to put it out there that our goal here with the DSA is to unite people and never be divided. But I also want to make the note that we need to be better in putting out the content on YouTube. We can't just report what somebody else did the research and work on. We have to be able to push ourselves to be more creative and to be more innovative in how we're going to approach certain things. I think it's definitely needed. And to all the people who's been here for the entire show, man, salute to you. To all the people who came in late and who going to go back and watch the show, hit that like button. Salute to you. To all the people who's going to go to each one of us that have not that you have not subscribed to, salute to you. And to our fellow brother who's not here with us right now, not that he's dead or anything like that. He just had a prior engagement. The Gridiron Blitz, Derek P. Fields, salute to him as well. And that's just the bottom line that I look at, and I just want to say that. And as always, I leave you with this one bit of great advice. Don't be no chump. Please do your research.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Luke G's Field Review, Nova Sports TA, Troxel'S Sports, CA3 Sports, and 313 JMO, and the Gridiron Blitz, and Micro Mike, and Risky. There's a lot of us out here. We just trying to keep the content going for you guys.
Absolutely.
Bruce too.
Yep, and Detroit Drew as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to that channel. So, all right, guys, my final words is, man, thank you guys for kicking it with us tonight. We want to thank everybody that gave in the super chats tonight. We appreciate everybody, all the love. Definitely, man. Detroit Sports Alliance is where it's at, man. Just trying to get together, man, and be able to put that unbiased and positive media out for Detroit outlet in Detroit sports, period. And definitely, man, big ups to everybody that was on the show tonight. Definitely, we nailed it, and definitely a big shout out to my big homie, the Gridiron Blitz, Derek P. He couldn't be with us on today, but man, we appreciate everybody, man. So we're gonna do this again. You know how we do it on Thursday. It most likely will be on the Gridiron Blitz. So you guys get ready for that content, and don't forget on Wednesday nights the Pistons center court with 313 JMO, Troxel'S Sports, Detroit Drew, CA3 Sports Talk, and et cetera and et cetera. So definitely, guys, make sure you subscribe to everybody that's in the DSA, and we appreciate you guys.
And don't forget this too. Sorry to cut in. Don't forget to plug that man cave.
Yeah, and also the man cave on Monday with a special guest on the show from time to time. It's gonna be me and Derek P, and we're gonna rock out. We're gonna rock out like that, guys. All right, you guys. 100. We out of here.
All right, people.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace.